Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. I'm Adam Rianchi, your host, and it's Sunday, July 12th, 8:11 p.m. Time for some more best ball drafts. I think we have enough time for two fast puppies tonight. Let's go. All right. Right. I had the intro on the wrong one. Sometimes we make mistakes, but here we are. We're going to draft in the fast puppy. I have not done any Frenchie super flexes yet. Not sure if I will. I don't know if I care to do my mini golden, in all honesty. The single entry winner take all, even for $2, not the most exciting, but the fast puppy, this is where it's at. This is definitely what we're drafting in tonight. So if you guys want to draft with me, I'll give you a brief little countdown. We are drafting in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Vámonos, muchachos. 2 spots left. If you want one, come and get it. Let's see what pick we get, and let's bring in the chat. We got First Down Fantasy in here today. Welcome in. It says, bro, DK is wild. Got an almost complete Chiefs Chargers stack today. LOL. That's exciting. Definitely not a bad matchup to build out for week 17. Can zoom out one more time. There we go. There we go. If you're in this lobby, let me know. Shout it out in the chat below. But to everyone involved, good luck and excited for what happens. What's up, Daniel? Let's go. Indeed, we are ready. Ready for this one. We got Cade Callander at the 101, Super Beast, our boy, at the 102, Jackson Duffy, welcome in at the 103. Niners fan, Chad's in here. Melon Ball at pick 5. Maybe that's Chris Thompson's shadow account, but Amped Phil in here. UCF Jaguar, game tight as well. K Anderson, Artem Chubarov, excuse me, and B stats. I have pick 12. I'm pulling up the caboose, but GM, welcome everyone. Good luck and get money indeed. Let's see what happens tonight, but let's also bring in the music. The music is on. Okay, sweet. Didn't forget the music tonight. We're firing on almost all cylinders other than the intro on the wrong shot. Everything's going well. But this draft is underway. Like I said, if I didn't mention you, if you are watching, let me know if you're in here. But interesting, we see Genty pulled up at pick 6. Don't hate it. Wouldn't do it all the time, but don't hate it. I've definitely done it myself. And now CMC. Hampton at pick 8. Game tight. Not letting me have him. That's a bummer. Definitely expected to go Hampton at either 12 or 13. So that's not the best scenario. Jefferson off the board at 10. So we're either going Lamb or double RB. Taylor goes. I was kind of hopeful I would somehow get Taylor at pick 12, but nope, not in this one. CeeDee Lamb at pick 12, though. That's not bad. I think I can live with that. And then I might as well... Yeah, let's go. Let's just stick with top of ADP. Let's take CeeDee Lamb and James Cook. Totally fine with that. But, yo, what's up, Meg? How we doing? Welcome in. Excited for round 2 of Best Ball Jeopardy. And if anyone hasn't checked out the Fanspeak Network, give them a subscription. Friend of the channel. We've had Meg and Steve, both of the Shout siblings, on the channel before. And we've drafted some banger teams every time. I'm either a guest on there. One of them is a guest here. The draft goes very well. And if you would like to see round 1, my match with Huhames took place last week, check out the Fanspeak Network. Awesome stuff going on over there. But so far, this back to our team, it's just the first couple rounds, nothing crazy. And at the bookend, we got a lot of time on our hands. We got a lot of time to wait and think out our next pick. I think staying balanced is an advantage. Going receiver in round 1, none of them feel like bad picks. Like, maybe you don't love Jefferson. Maybe you don't love Lamb as much. Maybe you actually believe in Pickens, but even if you think JSN is overpriced, it's not like he should be going 10 picks later. It's not like he's not a first round pick. It's just maybe he's not pick 5. But if you start off with one of the elite receivers and then one of these strong running backs in the second round, it does feel like you have a very smooth advantage where you can go in any direction and just stay flexible throughout the entire draft. You're not forced into taking a receiver at this next turn. If you like the running backs, want to double up, you can. You have that elite anchor. And sometimes I like it more than, like, let's say you start off with excuse me. Let's say you start off with 3 running backs in the first 4 rounds. It feels better to have that with an elite wideout than it does the other way around. And to go running back, wide receiver feels much different than the other way around. So James Cook, never a bad pick. Only risk with him really is injury, but not afraid of Ray Davis, not afraid of Ty Johnson, and not really afraid that DJ Moore shifts the offensive game plan in any major way. James Cook is kind of locked into like 15 plus touchdowns again. Feel very safe with James Cook. Odds are he finishes with like 1,600 yards. Maybe he's more heavily used in the passing game, perhaps. Not totally sure, but it is possible. Shamrock's in here. What's up? Happy Sunday night to you as well. Hope you're doing very nice on this Sunday evening. Hoping it went well for everyone watching. But First Down Fantasy have a ton of St. Brown at 6, so I want to get a bit more variation. That's fair. I think one of the running backs you can pull up and justify with at pick 6 is Genty. But damn, having Jonathan Taylor at pick 12 would have been fire. I really wish B-Stats had taken CeeDee Lamb or anyone else. But back on the clock, my ranking says Scatabo. I think I'm going to make this a Josh Allen team. I think I will. However, for good measure, let's draft it in the order that I have it. Technically, I have Javonte over Allen as well. But in my heart, nah, I don't fully believe that. And I'd rather build out the Giants-Cowboys, bring back that game in Week 17, than go double Cowboy. If anything, I'm going double Buffalo. Give me Josh Allen on this team. Round 4, Josh Allen, I think, is fine. It's maybe not the best price in the world, but ultimately, there's no guarantee that Lamar circles back, so we will have a different tier of options in our next round, and I'm not someone that wants to be seriously overweight on Josh Allen. His price is pretty steep, but there's no way in hell I don't want a single Josh Allen team. There's no way I'm looking at his price and saying, oh yeah, he could never pay off a 3rd round pick. Once I'm in the 4th, I think it's where I'm pretty comfortable with. Ideally, we get him at a discount, but here we are at the bookend. It is what it is, giving ourselves the clear quarterback 1 is also an advantage. So don't do it all the time. With James Cook, it feels a little bit better. And then I've also seen many instances where the Josh Allen drafter, even at pick 12, gets DJ Moore to circle back. I think we open ourselves up for some options. Also, Allen unstacked isn't the worst scenario ever, but at least with James Cook, we have some correlation. There's also typically at least one bill available at the 11-12 turn. There's one I would love on this team. We'll see if he makes it, but it's definitely possible he gets sniped. But so far, no complaints. The team next to us also went with 4 running backs, so having one of the few teams with 2 running backs at this point definitely feels like another minor advantage from a structural roster standpoint. There may be a run on the position later on. So CeeDee Lamb, our anchor wideout, James Cook, Scatabo, and Josh Allen. Checks out in my opinion. Some people still don't believe in Scatabo, but this is really where I do rank him, and I'm not afraid to take him. Especially at pick 12, if you're not taking the top of ADP, you're reaching on whichever other pick you're making. You have to get a little bit different at the bookend. Either someone seriously falls to you, or you are pulling someone up from a different part of the board. But the team at 1 went heavy running back. They took Gibbs, Pickens, Breece Hall, David Montgomery, and Swift there. So yeah, running back might actually get kind of cramped. I could see some dire straits up ahead at the position where some players just get reached on significantly. Like, there's the team at 4. Chad doesn't have a running back yet. The team at 3 only has Jeremiah Love. And then there's also the teams at 16 and 15. Teams 9 and 10 at 16 and 15 overall. They took Chase Brown and Ken Walker. So this guy took Bucky Irving from the 5 slot, feeling the pressure, and not needing that position here. It feels like a luxury. It's definitely possible here. I'm not sure how B-Stats values DJ Moore, but could definitely envision a scenario where I do get the stack. He goes Cardinal Tape. Perfect. So we do get rewarded on this Josh Allen build. Definitely feels better to also pair him with DJ Moore. I think I'm just going to keep it simple. Let's stick to top ADP. Let's go with wide receiver. Let's go Rome Odunze as well. No need to overthink it. Tyson, while he should be productive, I like him, has some injury risk. Last year, missed significant time. But, no, I believe it happened down the stretch. He's had multiple injuries throughout his college career. And maybe it crops up again, his rookie season. So we're leaving Team 11 with 2 rookies. They decided their fate when they took Cardinal Tape. But DJ Moore with Allen and James Cook, that is a pretty sweet way to start off. I'm not upset with the Allen pick whatsoever. It feels pretty sweet. But Doctor won the Professor. 15 votes, only 6 likes. Please, folks, show some love. Appreciate that. Doctor won the Professor. Appreciate that. We got 30 people watching, 8 likes. If you're liking it, this Josh Allen build so far, I think it's coming together. Easy to like your team through the first 6 rounds, but sometimes you do already get put in a bit of a pinch. Don't think that applies so far on this team. But first down fantasy, Scat has the long hair now. On All In, he's on his villain arc. He's definitely maybe a bit more comfortable in his skin, willing to try something new. It looks odd, but under the helmet, it's all the same. Once he puts the helmet on, I don't really give a shit what his hair looks like. So whether it was the correct choice, whether he regrets it later, don't think it matters. Scatabo is a fucking beast. And I definitely want to be drafting and investing in Scatabo in his early part of the career. I worry about his longevity. He doesn't strike me as a player that's going to age particularly well. I don't see us jumping ahead 10 years from now and saying Scatabo is still just as graceful and youthful as he was last season. So Scatabo, not going to be held back very much. As long as he's able to be on the field, he will be there. And he's the type of player I want to bet on. The type of guy that can give you 100 yards per game, 5 catches per game, a touchdown every week. The Giants' offense is also going to be pretty consolidated. There's not that many talented athletes on offense who get the ball. So early season, if he's ready week 1, wheels up. If he has a slow start, wouldn't be the most shocking thing in the world, but I'm not convinced that he's just like a lock to get injured again. He will be ready, I believe, for week 1. But Austin asking what type of draft are we doing? We're in the fast puppy. That's definitely the main event at the moment. Trying to keep the overall cost down. And now that I've done a shit ton of teams, it's kind of like I want to pick my spots and try to get like good advance rates, or maybe not spend too much money, because I've already put a lot of money into Underdog and Best Ball this year. We're starting to shift our mindset towards redraft, and I'm willing to take a break sometimes. But getting Dak Prescott here wouldn't be terrible. I think he could fit the team pretty nicely. I think I want Tucker Kraft, though. I think I would like to have a really good tight end. Now, I kind of want to grab running back a little bit more than receiver. I'm also not like the most sold on Dak, and with Josh Allen, I don't think it's like the end of the world to pass. I think I'm going to just trust my rankings. I do value Rico Dowdle over Dak Prescott or any receiver here. I actually think Mahomes is more valuable than Dak Prescott. So call me a hater. I don't really care. I like the Cowboys offense. I like drafting their receivers. I do worry sometimes, though, about Dak Prescott staying healthy. He's also not running the ball very much. If he's not throwing, like, let's be honest, at least 3, if not 4 passing touchdowns, he's a little bit capped at times, but he was a very productive quarterback last year. I don't want to take that away from him. He's a fine pick, but with Josh Allen, not really expecting him to hit the lineup too often. And I think the way I've built my team, I think I can afford to grab QB2 at the next turn. The next turn still has tremendously valuable quarterbacks. And while the stack is definitely an option, it's not really the end of the world not to have him. So I will pass. I will play it more structurally. I mentioned how running back might be highly coveted given how the beginning of the board looked on this team, on this lobby. There were multiple teams that went a little extra heavy on the running back investments, kind of trying to punish some of the teams that didn't. So there could be some extra runs that we don't foresee. Getting ahead of the need for that position is always a strong choice. The running back market, way more expensive this year on Underdog than it has been. But Jonathan Brooks at 95, I suppose it's not too egregious, but I think I mentioned it in the past. Ahead of pick 100, I'm still a little concerned to draft Jonathan Brooks any higher than that. The injury risk is still pretty high. But welcome in, Austin. Welcome in, Scott. Good evening to you as well. Nice to see you. Smash that like button, says Game Type. Appreciate everyone who has hit the like button. And so far, the team, I think deserves it. We got an elite quarterback, a pseudo-elite tight end. Kraft was elite last year. Let's hope that can repeat. But then our running back room is filling in quite nicely. We have James Cook, Cam Scatterbo, and Rico Dowdle. I think I'm going to move the chat to the top. I think if I put it there, it's going to be less of a problem. Because sometimes I forget to scroll. I always feel bad whenever I do, and I'm not showing you guys the full board. And then sometimes I do, and it's still blocked by the comments. So I think it's time we move the chat around. I've been a little slow to do that, and I've noticed some annoying parts of it recently. So hopefully that is gonna help. I know everyone prefers to see the board at all times, but Green Bean, just more cushion when the helmet is on. Right? Yeah. If anything, the extra hair is a good thing for the sake of Scatterbo's concussion CTE chances. If anything, the longer hair keeps him healthier and potentially prevents a major head injury that feels inevitable. But ooh, this is nice. Jackson Dart circles back. I think I'm going to take him. I think this is a really solid price on Jackson Dart, and definitely rank him way higher than 108. We get the stack with Scatterbo. There's always some late stacks available too. This gives me another tight end option at the next turn. So even if we get boxed out of someone I really like, it's going to be all right. I think I'm going to trust Jacoby Myers. Why not? I like Golden a lot, but I definitely have a lot more of him. And by not setting up the Jordan Love stack, by already investing in Tucker Kraft, I'm not sure it's critical to go with another Packer. So I'll go with Jacoby Myers. I think a pretty safe floor play. In general, he's always been kind of undervalued every season, and he just always delivers. He always does just show up reliably year over year. So they traded for him. They gave him a contract extension. They invested a lot in Jacoby Myers. And despite a crowded offense there, I still think they have a pretty consistent role designed for him in the offense. I don't think they would have paid him without some plans. And there are some rumors he's on the trade block. That'd be kind of weird, but I suppose it's possible. It's all going to come down to how much they really believe in Travis Hunter this year. If Travis Hunter pops in training camp, which is definitely possible, maybe they say, you know what, we don't need Jacoby Myers. We love Parker Washington. We still have faith that Brian Thomas Jr. can be a top 10 receiver in the league. don't want to give up on our first round pick, but for them to trade for Myers and get rid of him would be kind of weird. Wouldn't really make much sense. So I doubt it. I think he's going to stay there. And the Jags have an offense that can really pop, especially week 17. The Commanders were one of the worst secondaries in the league last year. Definitely a good matchup week 17 for someone like Myers, especially if there's an injury to another receiver. So I like taking Jags wideouts, especially after ADP. And if anything, if there's one that we're sleeping on, it's probably Jacoby. Now, I do still like taking Travis Hunter. I like taking Parker Washington. I like taking BTJ. But I've kind of started to come around that you want all of them. And you probably want a decent share of Trevor Lawrence as well. For T-Law to play the Commanders week 17, that could definitely be a matchup that wins you Best Ball Mania. But you know what else could be a matchup that wins you Best Ball Mania? Josh Allen at the Dolphins. I'm a little worried he gets benched in the fourth quarter. Might not finish the game. That could definitely happen. But he probably drops 40 before then, and he can definitely be still the QB1 in that scenario. So hopefully that pays off. Having Jackson Dart, another rushing quarterback, though, very valuable as well. But Air Jeff, aloha to you. Love the avatar photo, the palm trees and the sunset. But Kincaid, who I was hopeful to get at 132, goes at 121 on the exact opposite side of the board. So not going to get lucky today with the Allen Kincaid stack, but I already got DJ Moore. At least I got someone, and it's not the end of the world. Not at all. We have Kraft, so we have a strong tight end number 1 on this roster already. It's not, wasn't critical. It would have been nice. I definitely would have taken Kincaid had he been on the board at 132. But Dak looks like a dual threat linebacker now. Has he put on the poundage? I don't know about that, but he's not the same young, spry chicken he was his rookie season. When he was a rookie, he was an elite fantasy quarterback. He scored like 6 rushing touchdowns each of his first 3 years. He was great, but the last 4 years have been pretty up and down for him. 1 year injured, the next year great, the next year injured, last year great. If that trend continues, we could suffer another injury this season. Dak is one of the older quarterbacks in the NFL. It's definitely not an impossible thing to happen. So I'm hopeful it doesn't. If it does, it would wreck my CeeDee Lamb investment. But I also don't think that Joe Milton is a terrible backup quarterback to have, at least for fantasy. For the NFL, are they going to win games with Joe Milton? Probably not. But can CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens still put up big numbers with Joe Milton? Absolutely. Milton's going to chuck it deep any chance he can. Lamb, I still think, offers decently high ceiling and floor production, even with Joe Milton. But obviously, we want Dak to stay healthy. But Mark Twain, what's up, boss? Swift or Monty this season? We're going with Swift. Monty's fine, but I prefer Swift myself. I could go Tyron Tracy. I could mix that in. I'm gonna go Isaiah Likely though for sure. Lock that up. The stack with Jackson Dart. And if I want to stop with 2 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends, I could, in theory, right now. But we've kind of avoided receiver for a minute. I like Stephon Diggs a lot, and I think I'm just going to take him and move on, not worry about it. We got James Cook, Cam Scatterbo, and Rico Dowdle, so running back is not a desperate position. I don't love taking Tracy this high. I'm confident enough in Scatterbo to believe that Tracy is more of a contingent play right now than like a reliable bet to give you like 5-6 starts. I think we're still paying a price on Tyron Tracy that was established when we assumed he would get some run as the RB1. I'm not really of the mindset that he gets much of that, nowhere near as much as some people believe. So I think the price on Scatterbo should be moving up, and I think the price on Tyron Tracy should be moving down. I think Tracy can fall into the next round, honestly into the 150s perhaps. I don't think he's an excellent pick in the 12th. He's all right, but I think you're kind of projecting a role for him that is absolutely not guaranteed. So for that reason, I think you're paying a premium on mostly a contingent handcuff bet. And as long as Scatabo does deliver like I believe, then you're just not getting the return on investment that makes Tracy worth the pick. And maybe just handcuffing the Giants' backfield is also a pretty smart plan. Maybe just 1 week Tracy goes nuclear because Scatabo has a concussion and misses like 3 weeks. Maybe Tracy's still going to be heavily involved, more than I expect. But at least week 1, I don't think it's going to be the case. I think he loses touches pretty quickly when Scatabo proves he's ready to go. So I don't love the price on Tyrone Tracy. Otherwise, all the running backs are kind of expensive. I kind of considered Keaton Mitchell there, but it wasn't my preferred option. I kind of feel like Keaton is going too high. I mostly just bet on Hampton, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to just mix in Keaton Mitchell a little bit more, make sure I have a good investment spread out over the entire Chargers backfield. They're all going to pop given the circumstances. So he could be the guy, but with my investment in Hampton, I don't like to think of the world where Hampton goes down. Air Jeff saying Team 1 looks great. That was the team that drafted 4 running backs with Swift in the first 5 rounds. He started off with Jalen Hurts as quarterback, Jared Goff as well. Goff is stacked up with Gibbs. His tight ends are Kincaid and Hunter Henry. And then his receiver room has Pickens, Harrison, Worthy, Pearsall, and Jalen McMillan. I could see the Harrison and Worthy pick really not work out. The tight end room is high upside, but maybe a little bit less reliable. Running back, though, is fucking insane. Gibbs, Breece Hall, Dave Montgomery, DeAndre Swift is elite. No question. That's a great running back room. But about to be back on the clock. Let's pull up our player options. These are my ranks. The ADP says Jalen Naylor would be a good pick. I don't think I'm interested in Bryce Young, the only quarterback by ADP worth taking. I'm not really dying to take Juwan Johnson unstacked on this team. I have a lot invested in Juwan. I don't have much Jalen Naylor, not going to lie. I really don't. However, my rank on him is past ADP at 156, and I'm literally at 156. So I think I'm going to mix him in here today. I'm not in love with it, but I also don't want zero. He had multiple 100-yard games last season, and while I don't think it's like the best pick in the world, I could still think in best ball he offers some value. So I will take Naylor, and then I think I'm just going to stick to the ranks. I will also mix in Tank Bigsby at 157. I'm just going to do it. I think Bigsby's worth it. I'd rather have him than Pacheco. Maybe Pacheco has more touches on a week-to-week basis, but I think if you told me that both Gibbs and Saquon go down, I think Bigsby is going to play better than Pacheco will, even in the Lions system. If anything, Drew Petzing proved last year that the running back one in his system is not necessarily valuable whatsoever. If it's not James Conner, if it's not that caliber of athlete, the backup is not guaranteed to be productive. And Pacheco has really fallen off recently. Definitely some injuries have led to that lack of production, but Kareem Hunt was keeping him off the field. There is a world where Pacheco's just washed, and even in a good spot, even being the Lions handcuff, he is actually not even their go-to option if Gibbs does miss time. I could still see them bring in James Conner, even a Najee Harris, even potentially trade for Caleb Johnson. I still think there's a chance someone trades for Caleb Johnson because it does kind of feel like the Steelers are probably going to give up on that. But for the moment, Pacheco is the RB2 in Detroit, and because of the Lions play calling, the way their system operates, the lack of competition behind Gibbs, that is the only thing that makes Pacheco a worthwhile click right now. But I still prefer Bigsby. I still am a Bigsby truther. But Dr. the Professor saying JB at 95 is actually less egregious than QJ at 74. That said, I'm sold on the "your drive" phrase will fuck up the league comment by McDaniels on QJ. I know there's an element of coaching that I think we really underestimate with QJ and why he's been such a flop. Like the Brandon Staley system with Kellen Moore was just not really equipped to develop him early. I think they really shattered his confidence. And then as much as Jim Harbaugh has been building his confidence up the last 2 years, Greg Roman is also holding him back. Greg Roman is not the type of coach that will elevate Quentin Johnston in a major way, take him from 0 to 100 in just the course of a season. Mike McDaniel can change that. Mike McDaniel can find the elite skill set, the yards after the catch ability of Quentin Johnston. Once he gets rolling, he is tough to tackle. He often drops the ball, but if he's not the reason for the play not working out, if he's not shooting himself in the foot or the team in the foot, then he is actually like one of the key players that decides their fate. Last year, they kind of lived and died by Quentin Johnston. Not going to lie, he was extremely critical for their success and their downfalls. QJ is actually one of like the engines of the team. It feels weird to say, but it's true. All right, we are coming back around. Mendoza is falling. 8 picks. I do have Jalen Naylor, so I could possibly do it. I do have Allen and Jackson Dart, though. It's not my most desired decision. I think I'm actually going to mix in Jerry Jeudy today. I've started to see a little bit of hope for Jerry Jeudy. In the event of a trade, I could definitely see that happen. So I'll go with him first. And then I think I'm going to go Ray Davis, actually. I think I might go Ray Davis. Keep it balanced. I'm going to stop at 2 quarterbacks for sure. Allen and Dart. That checks out. And then tight end, I'm going to trust Tucker Kraft and Isaiah Likely, I think. I'm not dying to take a third. I totally could. But I think I might draft one more running back, one more receiver. And while I don't do this all the time, if James Cook misses even a single game, Ray Davis becomes an elite top 10 start. Ray Davis instantly hits the lineup with like 20 touches. So I will take Ray Davis. I have looked at my bags. I'm actually a little bit low on Ray Davis shares this year. Compared to last year, I was taking him like crazy. I was a little more hopeful about the contract holdout affecting James Cook, but we have seen, it's been proven, when James Cook is out, the guy you want is clearly Ray Davis, not Ty Johnson. Very clearly Ray Davis, but yeah, the powder blue always pops. Love the Chargers gear. When we can opt for it, it always shows up on camera. But Chad, I would like to reiterate that I hate the 4-hole. Yeah, the worst pick on the board is pick 4. Say what you will about having Puka over JSN. You are in much better scenarios to not get sniped from pick 5 or pick 6. Pick 3 is also better because at least you have Jamar, but you also get an earlier pick on the way back around. You can get screwed, especially at the 2-3 turn from pick 4. I've been at pick 4, and so often there's a guy like, wow, he would really save my team if he fell. And oh, look, he's making it. He's about to be on the clock. Oh, guess what? The team right in front of me fucking took him. Oh, we're 2 rounds later. That same team sniped me again on the one player that would really save my team. Pick 4 is so frustrating. From both sides, you get sniped, and you have to start off with Puka and another receiver, if not Bowers. Or you're pulling up Jeremiah Love, and it feels gross. Pick 4 is pretty brutal. But welcome in, Jamie. Nice to see you. So far, it is a good draft. I would agree. So far, it's not bad. We have 2 picks left and a bunch of options. But the professor saying, check out the new photos on Dak. You'll see what I'm saying. I just hope he can still throw the ball. He is jacked. Word. Okay, I kind of took it as like he put on more like like he got bulky. He got kind of fat. So to see it in the other direction, much better. Yeah. If Dak is in like the best shape of his life, that would be bullish. I would say that. But hello, Batwheat. Hello. Welcome in. Crumb, where are you at on Judkins versus Tootin? I think it depends on the roster I'm building. I think they're both a little bit overpriced, to be honest, but relative to the market, it makes sense why they go there. I'd rather have Bishal Tootin. I'd rather invest in the Jags than the Browns. I think Quinshon Judkins is a better player than Bishal Tootin, but I think Tootin will catch more passes, and I also think he will score more touchdowns. So more yards in store for Judkins, more touches overall, but I think more touchdowns and the points that really matter go to Tootin. I took Marshawn Lloyd there, take another running back. I think is worth it. And then we also grabbed Darius Slayton for the Jackson Dart backstack. We took Isaiah Likely and Darius Slayton. We got some receiving targets, especially with the Neighbors injury. Getting one of these round 18 flyers in the Giants offense, I think, is a wise move. Whether it's Mooney, whether it's Malachi Fields, or Darius Slayton, whichever one you want, I think you should take one every now and then, especially with Jackson Dart. But what's up, Who Hames? Good to see you. Nice little family soup happening. Shout out Who Hames, friend of the channel. If you haven't subscribed over on Who Hames yet, what are you doing? We've had him on this channel. We've been a guest over there. And we're also going to have some collabs. We're going to bring up some rankings and ADP changes together over the coming weeks. Look out for that. We will be live on Tuesday. The plan is to have Who Hames on the channel. But he voted for the Raiders. I don't believe you, brother. I do not believe you. Just for the lulz, though, I suppose I can forgive it. But Silent Static, how you feeling about the Chargers with the new OC? Love them, bro. Very ecstatic. So pumped for the season. The Chargers offense going to be lit. Herbert is going to be the MVP. But Jamie, I have so much nailering her booty. Don't we all? At least we hope to have. That's living the dream right there. But what about Betch, Trey Tucker? I'll draft Trey Tucker. I'm not really interested in Jack Betch. I suppose I'd take Jack Betch over Dante Thornton, but I'm not really drafting much. Jack Betch. Anthony Perez did a very nice draft on Jiri's channel last night. I got the Jamar Burrow and Higgins combo. That's pretty sweet. That always feels nice. When you take T. Higgins with Jamar, it feels more likely that you get the quarterback stack. But the professor saying it's just his drop rate and concentration for me on QJ. That is all. Yeah, if not for the drops, I think everyone would be in on QJ. The drops really stain the memory, and I think that's why he was so undervalued previously. Quentin Johnston has risen 30 picks since the launch of Best Ball Mania, one of the highest risers in all of fantasy. 30 picks is no joke. Only Ryan Flournoy has risen more picks at the position than Quentin Johnston. Flournoy is way cheaper. To rise 30 picks inside the top 100 is like raising 60 picks from spot 200. But yeah, the Allen and Cook was really nice. Getting DJ Moore was perfect. Let's recap this team. I'm going to catch up with the chat first real quick. We got Bayou in here. What's up, Bayou? If anyone hasn't checked out Bayou Bengal, another friend of the channel. Awesome live streams over there. Give him a follow. As well as Young Moolah, GAB Lifestyle. I'm not sure if this is his burner account, maybe his YouTube premium watching account, but GAB for Life, another friend of the channel as well. He says, what up, Blunt? My Raiders up to 8% in the poll to win the division. That's higher than I would have guessed. I'll say that. That's much higher than I would have predicted. But Mark Twain was just in the 4, truly horrific. Would you like me to take a look from the 4 slot? But I'm looking forward to it as well. Who Hames, very excited. Should be a lot of fun in the coming weeks. But Kent says you should do an eliminator draft and trying to learn. Honestly, so am I. If anything, I highly recommend you check out Who Hames' channel. And if you become a member, you will have access to his Eliminator episode. He had on Gunnar Ross, who took home 2nd place in the contest. And there's a lot of strategic information, some insights that you can only get because Gunnar Ross still has the screenshots from the tournament. Very, very interesting video. I highly recommend. Our boy Who Hames put out a banger with that one. But how many drops do you think he had last year? If I had to guess, I don't think it's more than like 12. I think a dozen actually sounds high. I just think when it happens, it's so memorable. I would guess like 7. I would guess 7. I think 7 drops sounds about right. Are you worried about the Broncos' new offense this year? No. I am not worried at all. I trust Sean Payton. I'm ready to hop in a draft with you. Let's roll. We will do a few team reviews. I'm trying to just catch up with the chat. They just keep coming in. Same. Can we do Eliminator? We will not. I apologize, Kent, but we're just sticking to the Fast Puppy tonight. That's the move this evening. But QJ had only four drops. Interesting. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We remember the drops so vividly. It really inflates some of the hatred on him and makes him feel like such a bust, such a bad pick. But really, in all honesty, QJ has really elevated his game, really gotten better since his rookie season. And to only have four drops, like that sounds like, much less than you would think. It's still a lot more than you would like. But still, only four. It's moving in the right direction. No doubt about that. All right, let's recap my team and then a couple member teams. We got Josh Allen, Jackson Dart. I think that's excellent. Running back James Cook, Cam Scatterbo, Rico Dowdle. Those three can get it done. Bigsby, Ray Davis, elite upside. If the starter goes down, then Lloyd might also not just have that elite upside as well, but also might get more touches. Might even be the starter if something happens to Josh Jacobs in the legal system. But probably not going to happen. Jacobs probably is all right, but you never know. It's still only July 12th. We got CeeDee Lamb on this team, the elite anchor. DJ Moore fell to 60. That was elite to get the stack. Rome Odunze saves us a little bit in terms of volume. Myers at 109, always valuable. And then Diggs, another good value bet. Naylor, just because we want the exposure. He fell 9 picks. It's worth taking a few times. And then Judy hopefully gets traded. Maybe he's the Dolphins wide receiver 1 by like week 5. But Darius Slayton, also a sneaky pick, not the most drafted, so getting unique with him stacks up well. He's the highest paid receiver in the Giants offense. That speaks for something. That definitely means something. He was somewhat usable last year. If Neighbors misses time, he could really pop off. But Kraft, an elite option, and then likely for the stack. I could have maybe used another one, but honestly, I think having Marshawn Lloyd is a little bit more helpful. I think just trusting that Kraft stays healthy and that he will remain a top 5 play, I think is the main move. So I like the team a lot. The 2-6-8-2 feels strong, especially with Josh Allen and at least one of the elite tight ends. Kraft, I still believe, is in that category. So very fun team. Love the roster, honestly. This one was a nice one. I like this one a lot. For my Josh Allen teams, this one is one of my favorite, to be honest. But we had Super Beast in this draft. Same with Niners fan, 2 members. Amped Phil is also in here. I think UCF Jaguar may have also become a member. We actually have quite a few team reviews. Damn. Let me go quickly then. Let me do it as fast as I can. Game tight with Baker, Daniel Jones, Aaron Rodgers. That's fine. Hampton at 8. Love to see it. Achan getting different with that combo. Quinchon, Kenneth Gainwell, Pacheco, Jordan James. Totally fine with that, especially Pacheco at 161. We got Flowers, Tet, Pierce, Downs, Golden, Shaheed, and Ted Hurst. Maybe not the best receiver room I've ever seen, but definitely a lot of volume and depth to it. Shaheed as number 6 always feels pretty solid. But Tyler Warren and Kate Otten, the elite option, and then the good floor play, pretty decent, pretty solid. Baker needs to hit, though. Quarterback might be a little bit soft. Just a little bit, if Baker does not. But good team, game tight. No issue with that. Jaguar had Burrow, Lawrence, and Mendoza. That checks out. McCaffrey, Henry, Jacobs, Corum, and Keaton Mitchell. Not afraid of the high-priced handcuffs. Also not afraid of Jacobs missing any time. And then also not afraid of Father Time. So running back room, no fear. Pedal to the metal. We got T. Higgins, Brian Thomas, Michael Wilson, Juwan Jennings, Trey Harris, Pat Bryant, and Devon Vele. So for 7, that feels possibly a little weak. Maybe BTJ and T. Higgins just deliver that much. But Michael Wilson needs to be just as good as last year. This is actually kind of a scary receiver room. Not much elite depth down the board, but Kittle, Andrews, and Juwan Johnson, that checks out. It's just receiver. Will it be enough to work? You spent a lot on running back. That is the reason why. Not bad if you're right on RB. Amped Phil in here. Also remember, we got Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix. That's fine. Genty at pick 6. Not afraid of that. Kyron and Byshal Tootin. Mason and Emmett Johnson. There's definitely been some steam on Mason lately. I think he might be moving up the board pretty quickly soon. But London and Jalen Waddle, Metcalf and Addison, Higgins and Trey Tucker, Antonio Williams, and Tyquan Thornton. Antonio, I think, needs to fall. I think at ADP, Antonio Williams is still a little too expensive. He went into the 150s. He's trickled back to 174. I think with the Veterans still looming in free agency, like Diggs especially. I do worry about Antonio Williams really falling down the board once that happens. If they sign a veteran, that would be gross if it did happen. But it does stack up ultimately, so not terrible. Okonkwo, Schultz, and Ferguson is a nice cheap way to get some value and upside. This team fucks. This team definitely checks out. It's really like only the Antonio Williams pick I don't love, and then maybe Jaden Higgins is also a little overpriced. Otherwise, fantastic roster. Love it. We had Chad in here with Stafford, Love, and Cam Ward. That's fine. Love at 124. That feels good. And then Ward at 148. Really good values on the quarterback position. Pollard, Dobbins, Aaron Jones, Brian Robinson, Sampson, Blue, and Katron. So yeah, feeling some desperation here. But honestly, you can carry yourself to like week 10 with these two, the random spike weeks from Aaron Jones. And then all of a sudden, Javonte Williams goes down. Quinshon Judkins misses some time. Katron starts scoring like 5 touchdowns down the stretch, and you're in business. So I think these two, as long as Dobbins doesn't get hurt too soon, I think you will be okay. Because I assume everything else is going to be pretty strong. You went Puka, Devontae, Terry, Adams, Lemon, and DK. Chimeri DK is number 6. That's a little shaky, but the top 5 I think are okay enough. And then Bowers and Goddard feels elite. So yeah, there are some strengths to this team. Hopefully these random running backs can pop down the stretch thanks to some injuries. Good luck. But I don't think Jackson Duffy is a member, so I'm going to skip you real quick. And lastly, we got Super Beast, our last team review to do. We got Caleb and Tyler Shuck. I'm fine with that, honestly. I don't think that's bad. It might not be everyone's favorite cup of tea, but I think that's good enough to get the job done. Bijan, Travion, Brooks, Chris Rodriguez, those 4 are great. Mike Washington and Kimani Vidal, so some valuable handcuffs, stopping at 6. Always feels better than 5, but maybe not fully necessary. Maybe one of them could have been quarterback. Rashi Rice, Chris Olave, QJ, Michael Pittman, Denzel Boston, Flournoy, Branch, and Keenan Allen. Pretty solid. No issue with this at all. The top 4 are very good, and there is some high-end upside with the depth, especially the rookies if they pop. That'd be elite. And then Loveland stacked up, excellent. Gadsden at 143. A little early, but not a bad pick ultimately. I'm not afraid of that. It's fine, but maybe a little bit expensive. I'd rather only pay that price above ADP on Gadsden if I had Herbert. That is my take on the Gadsden price. I'll take him there with Herbert, but otherwise I want him to fall because I don't feel convinced that he's that much better than David Njoku this year. They might be pretty close to each other, in all honesty, but I still take both at a decently high rate, mostly when it's stacked. But all right, Young Moolah's on the burner account. You got 2 likes out of me today. Raiders also get 2 votes. Smash the like, fam. Appreciate you, Young Moolah, for repping it. But for the members of the blunt rotation with our blunt emojis, let's take a rip from the pipe. We have yet to do that this evening. It's time for sure. Let's hit it. Smoke it if you got it. All right, let's hop into another draft. I'm sure y'all are waiting for it. We've taken our time. Let's get to it. We're drafting the Fast Puppy. We got 70 people watching, so if you want to hop in, we'll give you a countdown, and I recommend getting in at least 5 seconds early. You probably need to hit it before I count to 5. We're hopping in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 2 spots left. Hopefully you heeded my advice if you really wanted to get in. These Fast Puppies have been filling instantly pretty much, and there's rarely a wait when you hop in the lobby. But we were drafting at pick 12 on the last one. We're right in the middle this time. We get pick 7. And at least to be in the middle and on the left, on the right side of the board, feels way better than the left. Pick 6 is fine, but I'd rather have pick 7, honestly. Definitely feel better, at least on the right side of the board. But who do I think will win Rookie of the Year? That's a good question. I wouldn't be entirely shocked if it's not a quarterback. Mendoza might actually miss some games. But he's probably the safest bet, I would say. If not, I could definitely see Carnell Tate winning that. The Brian Dable offense is high volume in the passing game. Neighbors had insane targets his rookie season. So if that's going to be the target share for Carnell Tate, he could definitely win it. He might be one of the best picks on the board if that's the case. But if not, I think at receiver, it'd probably be someone like Jordan Tyson. I wouldn't expect Mekhi Lemon to win it. And then just because of how Arizona operates, I'd be pretty shocked if it was Jeremiah Love. So maybe Jadarian Price is a sneaky candidate for that, but I think it's probably going to be either Mendoza, Carnell Tate, or potentially Jordan Tyson. I could see Jordan Tyson actually deliver in the Kellen Moore system. I think it's possible, but I'd put more money on Carnell Tate or Mendoza. It'll probably be determined by how many games Mendoza isn't playing. But Taylor goes. My rank says Amon-Ra. ADP says CMC. We could also get just different and pull someone up, but no, I'll stick to the rankings. I'll go Amon-Ra at pick 7. He's my 5th overall rated player. I have him actually one spot above JSN. The top 4 I have in the same order. Then I go Amon-Ra, then JSN, then CMC, then Jonathan Taylor. And then at pick 9, we pivot back to receiver. But Ham Daly, Odell. No, I'm not drafting Odell. Not at all. No, thank you. I don't believe in it. He's a worthless pick. If you take Odell, you're asking to lose. Just for the vibes, if you go OBJ. But cheers with a gummy, says Air Jeff. Cheers to you as well. How many milligrams you repping, Air Jeff? How many milligrams did you just bite off? But Keith, damn it, landed in the underflow. I went way too early. False start. Apologies on that, man. Gotta wait for me to start counting. Once I start counting, then it's locked in. Otherwise, it's there's the art of the juke, I suppose. I'm never intentionally getting someone to miss, but I will say I do like it when there's new names drafting with us, not the same people every single time. Because some of y'all have hacked the system, some of y'all get in all the fucking time. But we do see some familiar faces. We just saw Jesus BMZ, Chewy at pick 12 go James Cook, Saquon Barkley. I also recognize Dynasty FF right next to me at pick 8. I think we've drafted with Rhino, who took Taylor at the 106. But otherwise, the only other team I really recognize is Jackson Duffy at pick 4. I kind of feel like you're more likely in the overflow than the pre-flow. But if all of these other names I don't recognize just hopped in at the same time, like it's also possible that just a shit ton of people were hitting the button. It is what it is. Better luck next time. But Tyson plus 600 is interesting to me. Yeah, I would agree. There's some definite scenarios where he pays off. But despite my rank preferring Derrick Henry, I have fewer Amon-Ra Achane combos than I have Amon-Ra Derrick Henry combos. And the only dilemma is they both have a week 6 bye, so my 2 first picks will be unavailable in week 6. Never ideal, but at least at different positions, it's not as bad as it could be. But yeah, Jordan Tyson could possibly have a very sneaky productive rookie year. Keith the Big Shooter might have missed our lobby, but says at least I got Jamar. That's always nice. Jackson, I got to pick my draft pick in my full PPR 12-man league and pick number 6, targeting JSN or Amon-Ra. What do you think? In full PPR, I think that's pretty sweet. I would prefer to have JSN in that scenario. The target share for JSN is probably a little bit higher. But Amon-Ra probably scores more touchdowns still, so I don't think you can go wrong with either. I will say, though, I think Christian McCaffrey looks a lot more appealing in full PPR than half. Christian McCaffrey looks a lot more interesting. I'm willing to tolerate some more risk, given McCaffrey can can catch that many passes. But Air Jeff saying I'm a lightweight, half a gummy, does me the night. That's not bad. Definitely not bad to pace yourself and only take half. You can always have more. You can never have less. But K-Space missed the draft. Unfortunately, we probably have another one. But this is not what I want to see. This is not good. I don't love reading that. Air Jeff, I'm in the overflow. Good luck over there. There's probably more friends and family in that one. But the Tate line looks to be right ahead of him at plus 550. I feel like Tate is a little more likely the guy to bet on. So for them to be that close is kind of interesting. But the Nice and Blunt Step Fam in the draft I'm in. I'm with Jontara, Super Beast Animal, and Air Jeff. Okay, yeah, definitely some more friends and family. But Travis makes it back. Kind of a tough spot. These are not picks I'm usually making, but I probably don't want to have like 1% Trey McBride. I should probably take him on occasion, given just how good he was last year. And they are sticking with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. I wouldn't expect McBride to only score like 2 or 3 touchdowns again. I'm not expecting him to drop like 12 touchdowns or anything, but he's probably still an insane volume monster. I don't want a shit ton of him, but I should probably take him every now and then. Now is one of those times. But yeah, there might be some more. It's possible. But Who Hames thinks I'll lean into Tate being that close. Yeah, for you to only be giving up $50, I think if I could only bet on one of those two, I think I would take Carnell Tate. I think his odds are statistically probably higher than that, but then obviously Mendoza could steal that honor. The only problem is if Mendoza's like not on the field by like week 7, week 8. Their early season schedule is actually kind of a gauntlet. When you really look at it, it does not get easy, and it stays hard for quite some time. Like through the Bills game, the Raiders schedule is pretty tough. But let me check in on the poll real quick. We have 55 votes, and looks like my Chargers are leading the poll, but just narrowly. It is only 3% higher in favor on the Chargers than the Broncos. The Chiefs holding up 24% of the vote. They just went up to 25. A quarter of the votes say the Chiefs, but they're in third place. Almost nobody is picking the Raiders. Only 7% have taken the Raiders. ADP says Jacobs. My ranks is Scatabo. Yeah. I don't want to take all the picks that I'm never scooping up on this team. We took Achane. That's not a pick I take too often. We also took Trey McBride, so the team's already feeling kind of weird. I don't want to go Jacobs as well. Despite being the higher ADP, I still think Scatabo is more valuable. I might be wrong on that. Maybe it's more risky, but if you told me one of them misses 6 games, I think it's more likely Jacobs due to suspension if there's another development in his legal battle. I doubt it really becomes a factor, but I also could feel like the Packers just don't really like him very much, and he was not very efficient last year. If they remove his goal line touches, he falls off fast. It would be a slippery slope if you told me Josh Jacobs' touchdown production falls by like 20 to 30%. Like Jacobs, his last 2 seasons, if we look it up, last year, 13 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdown, 36 catches both years, but the yardage fell off significantly. 400 yards less in the run game, another 60 yards less in the passing game, and then he fell from 15 rushing touchdowns to 13. So the stats were not moving in the right direction, and if you told me all of a sudden Josh Jacobs only scores like 9 touchdowns this year, it's still decent, but damn, that would be a bummer. That would be brutal. even in round 4, it wouldn't be the most exciting. So, especially if he misses time, it's going to be pretty disappointing. Jacobs, I think, is fine in this range, but I think the higher ceiling is still Cam Scatabo. And if Scatabo gets hurt, people will tell me I told you so. That's also fine. It is what it is. The risk is worth the reward. Here, I really want to take receiver, but honestly, don't think it's the better value. Fuck it. I'm gonna stay weird. I'm gonna take a pick I don't usually make. I'm gonna go Bucky Irving today. I don't have much of him. I've been really ignoring him for quite a while. I don't think you've seen me take Bucky in like 2 months, honestly. But I've slowed down my drafting of Kenneth Gainwell and Sean Tucker. I've taken a lot of them. And at this point, Bucky Irving is not quite falling into the 6th like I would have expected. So at this point, I kind of just have to accept that 55 is one of the better prices on Bucky Irving. So I'll take him in the 5th today. This is definitely a team I'm typically not expecting to work out. I've made 3 picks that usually I find kind of gross, but Amon-Ra and Scatabo are still really high upside, really good values. And who knows, maybe Achane, Bucky Irving, and Trey McBride are just pieces you need. But I don't like Bucky Irving for not just the vibes, but on top of it, the fact that his last matchup, week 17, is against the Myles Garrett LA Rams defense, and that can't be good. That can't be ideal. I wouldn't want to deal with that. Not good at all. If anything, that's a reason to maybe trust Jonathan Taylor a little bit more. He's not going against the Browns with Myles Garrett anymore week 17. Rhino actually built out a week 17 bring back. Okay. Damn it. I don't want another Arizona Cardinal. Fuck. This is not ideal. I'll just take Jaden Daniels then. Jaden doesn't have to be stacked. We only have Amon-Ra, but we're going like true anchor whiteout on this build. It is what it is, but I think we're all right where we're sitting. I think just from a value standpoint, Daniels and Drake May are definitely the 2 best picks in this range. So could have gone Drake May, but to backstack it, not my favorite thing to do. Locking myself into Hunter Henry or Romeo Doubs isn't like my favorite thing in the world. I like Hunter Henry a lot, but on this team, I already have McBride, and it would kind of limit me to like only that pick. And I want to get a little different. I want to try and get Chig Okonkwo on this one. But K-Space, are we doing another draft? Possibly, but probably not. Right now we have 73 viewers, 33 likes. We could definitely do better than that. How about this? If we get up to 50 likes, that is definitely achievable. 50 likes, and we will do draft number 3. But I am tired enough where if this draft is over and we're not there, I think we'll just bow out. But copy paste laid said, and the concept of getting McBride and a round past Bowers feels good. The concept feels okay, but then when you also consider it's 2 rounds ahead of Colston Loveland, that doesn't feel great. I think Loveland could be going back to back with him, and it would make some sense. Tyler Warren went a little early in this one, but especially when Tyler Warren falls to the 7th round, it doesn't feel that great. I think Bowers is fine because he's definitely the tight end 1, but McBride in the 3rd still feels a little bit disappointing. Not gonna lie. The 3rd round, once we get to McBride here, is like shit. I really have to draft one of these guys with this pick. I'd rather not, if I don't have to. But Herbert's on the board. Could definitely do that. But double week 7 bye, not ideal. I think instead I'll just trust that Alec Pierce will be healthy and just take him here. Lock up the targets. The contract definitely indicates he's getting a shit ton of them. So, we'll see what goes on, but stay away from Bucky. Maybe not the worst plan. Foreign Barber, would you audition for the Flock League, please? Are the auditions still going, I'll be honest. I feel like at this stage of the game, if I threw my hat in the ring, it probably wouldn't land. The Flock League looks exciting. Definitely an insane opportunity. I'm still trying to build out what I got going here in my own way, trying to keep myself financially viable through my own projects. So maybe if I had more time available on my hands to do something like that, I would feel better about it. But as excited as I would be to join, I would love to be a part of it. I don't know if it's my favorite thing to do with my time at this point in my life. I am trying to bet on myself a little bit more, and winning $100,000 would be fucking awesome. That standpoint alone would be pretty sweet. But there's decisions for everyone. I don't know if it's the best course of action for myself at this point in time. But I think if maybe I submitted an application immediately, I think I'd probably have a better chance of joining. But if I had to guess, at this stage of the game, it's pretty heavily in somebody else's favor to get that spot in the Flock League. But shout out Mason Dodd. Excellent channel, definitely an inspiration all throughout YouTube in the fantasy football space. Awesome content creator. Best of luck with all your endeavors in the Flock League this year. Whether he's watching now on the replay or somehow word gets to him. Much love, Mason. Much respect. Hawkinson is definitely a meh selection. I don't like taking Hawkinson, that's for sure. But smash the fucking like button. We're at 41 likes. We'll see if we get there. But that is subjective. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, did you know this, K-Space? Did you know you didn't have to spam the chat? Like literally every fucking comment is all K-Space. But mad respect to the Flock League, Flock Fantasy, everything Mason Dodd's got going on. Definitely one of the best in the game, no question. All right, we got Jaden Daniels on this team. The running back room is kind of interesting, despite being a little bit disappointing. Devon Achane, Bucky Irving, but Scatabo as well. So some excitement for sure. Pittman's still here. Definitely going to do that. My rank has Pittman well above everyone else. And next highest rank would be Kenny Gainwell. I could go Rashad White, though. That is also a move because I have Daniels. But no, I think I need receiver volume more. I'm going to go Michael Pittman. And maybe Rashad circles back. He does not. He goes instantly. He goes instantly. But yeah, K-Space definitely hyping me up for sure. But has anyone ever told you kind of look like Mason? No, this is the first time I've ever heard that. Mason's in much better shape than I am. Definitely, I'm not running an Iron Man. That's for sure. Maybe one day. Hashtag goals, but I've never heard that. I also wouldn't really agree. Like, maybe vaguely similar, but definitely not someone you'd mistake me for. Or vice versa. All right, we got sniped on Rashad. Had no chance of making it back. But if Kenny Gainwell makes it back, that might be tempting. The Bucky Irving and Kenny Gainwell wouldn't feel terrible. I could also go Kyler Murray, though, with Jordan Addison. That's definitely an option. Myers is still available. My rank, though, says Kenny Gainwell. Damn it. I have Bucky Irving, though. Damn it. I'm still going to do it. I think it's too valuable to pass up on, but I'll do it. I almost considered taking him at 103, but with Bucky, I would have definitely gone Rashad over Kenny Gainwell. This price, though, is definitely like one of the better spots you could take Kenny Gainwell. He's been moving up the board. Now some of the hype may be dwindling down. Even the Sean Tucker price started to get a little steamed up now. Some people lost some excitement for it. It's maybe not as trendy. But I think also one of the factors is like there's the people that don't believe in Kenny Gainwell's upside, maybe aren't as hip to the fade on Bucky Irving and like what Kenny Gainwell might be stepping into in terms of role on that offense and how productive he was last year from a spike week standpoint. So there's the people who are just sleeping on him that don't reach on him. And then there's the people like me who have taken a lot of him and are scooping him up everywhere for a while and then start to realize, okay, well, I'm kind of leading the market on this player in most of my drafts. I'm the one taking Kenny Gainwell above ADP. And now I'm at 20% Kenny Gainwell. Maybe I don't want to have more than that. Maybe it's a little too risky of an investment for my liking. So people like me decide, you know what? I'm going to stop taking Kenny Gainwell in the 9th round for a while. And next thing I know, he's still available in the 10th. And fuck it. Might as well add him on for the discount. But coming back around, boy, it sure would make sense. I wouldn't expect it. Yeah, there it goes. Lee Omega does take Kyler unstacked, but still definitely an excellent price. Pick 125. Awesome price on Kyler. I would have been forced to take him myself at 127. I had Addison, so that would have been sweet, but it was not in the cards. Instead, I'm going to set up a hopeful stack in Washington. I think I'm going to go with Stephon Diggs. Actually, no. I think I'm going to go Malik Willis first because I have Achane. There is a stacking partner available. We'll go dual running quarterback. We go Malik Willis and Jaden Daniels. I might get Diggs to circle back. I wouldn't be shocked at all if that happened. But Zero saying only 9% of people know ball with the Raiders. If you asked FS1 commentator Nick Wright, the Raiders were making the playoffs last year. So some people believe in the Raiders. We got 44 likes on the video. We're up to 45. And yeah, 6 more likes. We will do one more draft tonight at 50. But Foreign Barber, are you ever going to make your own website with their rankings and subscription / tool for drafting? Perhaps. Maybe not this year, but perhaps in the future. I would need to get in touch with some developers in order to do something like that. I have no idea what I'm doing. Maybe AI could help, but I'm kind of anti-AI. In all honesty, not my favorite thing to get deep in the weeds on. But Diggs doesn't circle back. I think I'm just going to grab Chigo Okonkwo then. Likely at a nice discount, though. Goddard, I have a lot of. My ranks is likely, but the stack says Okonkwo. I'll do that. And here I can stop with McBride and Okonkwo if I want. We can just load up on receiver for a while. If Daniel Jones is in the next round, I might take him, stack him up with Alec Pierce. Where did Goff go? Did I pass on Goff? I passed on Goff for Pittman, and then he didn't make it back to me at 114. He went at 112, so I needed receiver too much to load up on Amon-Ra's stack early, and then we missed out on the discount. Also passed on Kyler. But we're going to be making some rankings videos very soon. The videos will be coming back to the channel. I promise you, very soon. If anything, we're going to be shifting much heavily towards pre-recorded, edited videos like this channel started off doing. If you've watched the channel anytime before this year during the regular season and you're wondering, when is this guy going to stop doing live streams? When is this guy going to be posting the videos that I remember? Very soon. I promise you. Promise you that. If anything, you might miss me going live. You might be wondering, not too long from now, when's he going live again? It's been a while. That might happen as we dip into August, but yeah, space is definitely tweaking a little bit. I mean, I don't mind, in theory, all these messages in the chat definitely help some of the engagement, but yeah, holy shit. Holy shit. Really going ham with some of the comments, but I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. You know who I've actually been starting to scoop up a shit ton as the casuals enter? I'm starting to take a lot of Travis Hunter. We get the bring back week 17, the Jags versus the Commanders. 10 picks past ADP. Obviously, he'll be playing some snaps at corner, but he's obviously going to be playing snaps at receiver as well. In fact, he was mostly practicing in training camp wearing the offensive jersey, not the defensive jersey. And Travis Hunter might actually be in store for a lot more work than some people think. The Parker Washington breakout didn't happen until Travis Hunter went down. Hunter could possibly be the missing piece for that offense to thrive. It wouldn't shock me if 1 week it's like, oh, Jacoby Myers is missing this game and Parker Washington goes down at like the end of the first quarter. Oh shit, it's only Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter playing receiver today. What's going to happen? Hunter gets like 12 targets and Liam Cohen's like, yeah, we can't keep this guy off the field. He's just in our starting lineup and running a shit ton every week now. The Travis Hunter breakout will eventually happen. I do believe one day the truthers are going to say, I told you so. But here, I definitely need some receiver production. And as much as I like Flournoy, I think having Debo here is also valuable because we did not get Stephon Diggs. And Diggs is not like a true lock to go to the Commanders. It would make sense. But there's also a very high chance that now that Ayuk has like burned the bridge, it's possible that Debo just reunites in Washington. But Debo will sign somewhere. I think he will get some contract somewhere. And ideally, on the sake of this roster, it is in Washington. It could also, though, be in Miami. I might be setting up a Debo Malik Willis stack. That is also possible if all he's chasing is volume. I feel like he's more likely chasing a ring. And while maybe the Commanders don't offer that, they're at least closer to it than the Dolphins are. But I would imagine he also wants a decent role as well. The Commanders definitely have that open to him. He had it last year. But who knows what happens with Debo this season. A lot of different landing spots. He should be more valuable than 162, though. But looks like you got it. We did hit 50 likes. So we are in store. Yeah, 50 fucking likes. K-Space is ready to fucking go to town. Or if anything right now, K-Space, you should use this energy and go to the gym or something. Like, put in a good workout. Because you are wired right now. Weed and 12-year-old scotch and the urge to draft. High on life. Let's fucking go. I could definitely take Aaron Rodgers on this one. 175. It's not a bad choice. Is it totally necessary, or would I rather have tight end 3? I think I'll take Greg Dulcich, actually. I think I'm going to stop with just Jaden and Malik Willis. I'll just trust Jaden to really, really go off. And then Malik, let's just say he's more valuable than expected. A good pick. We can stop there. But I don't think having an elite tight end like Trey McBride is a reason to stop at 2. While you can, it's not completely necessary. And having that third one that can also hit the flex on a random week is valuable as well. So running back room, Achane, Scatabo, Bucky, and Gainwell. Receiver room, Amon-Ra, Alec Pierce, Jordan Addison, and Michael Pittman Jr., Travis Hunter, Deebo Samuel. I think we need 2 more receivers. We got 3 clicks left. I kind of don't think I can afford an Aaron Rodgers on this team. If he makes it back, I'm going to be sad to have to pass, but I'm not sure I can afford Rodgers on this build. I want 1 more running back for sure, and then based on my receiver production, I think I need 2 more. So we'll see what happens, but who knows? But yeah, space is basically up in space right now. He is living. Damn it. Rodgers is still here. Ugh. You know what? Meg from Fanspeak popped in earlier. We're going to do her. We're going to make her proud. We're going to do her solid. We're going to draft Aaron Rodgers at 186. She's probably baffled that he's still available. I'll take him. Malik Willis is ultimately not good enough for me to feel like, am I really passing on Rodgers at 186? I don't think so. Locking in all the starts, such a valuable player. I think he's just as productive this year as someone like CJ Stroud or Cam Ward. Maybe more productive than Sam Darnold even. And he goes, what, 4 rounds later? Yeah, way too late by comparison. You can definitely point to the lack of upside. It's not like he's going to be insanely productive, but he'll have a couple games with over 25 points, several weeks with over 18. And when you need it, that's going to come in handy. For the price, it's definitely better than, I think, what Stroud offers in round 13 or 12. That's my take on it. He's just as good of a pick as someone like CJ Stroud. That's how I feel about Aaron Rodgers. So stacked up with Pittman definitely makes some sense. But yeah, we'll do a fast puppy for sure. But that would also help them for sure, 0. That secondary is pretty bad, but we are on the clock, and Katron is available. Does pair with Jaden Daniels. Not the best pass catcher, but on the goal line, I'm willing to bet on it. I'll go with Katron. I want a 4th running back for sure. We have both Bucky and Kenny Gainwell. We have Devon Achane and Scatabo. Katron Allen, going to mix in a little bit extra as well, but maybe passing on him and just going double receiver was the better move. Honestly, I feel a little bit shaky about receiver, but Amon-Ra the anchor, no issue there. Going to be in my lineup every fucking week. Michael Pittman, I think, can also hit the lineup a lot this year. Addison, elite spike weeks. Same with Pierce. Hopefully they bounce off each other. Don't get too many bench points from them. But Travis Hunter, a big gamble. And then Deebo is also maybe a little bit mid, but definitely a value given the price. So just needing to hope that I'm right. Having Amon-Ra is fucking clutch. Amon-Ra is so necessary on a team like this. Every week, such a high floor. Maybe not the 30-point upside every week, but he can provide that. And he probably gives you like another 2-month stretch with like at least 1 touchdown every week. That happens all the time with Amon-Ra. Every year, he's so reliable. He's finished top 5 each of the last 3 seasons. And touchdowns are kind of a lock with him. If Deebo goes to the Colts, I'm rich. Do you have a lot of Daniel Jones and Deebo teams? That would be my guess. Yes, we did hit 50 likes, so we will do one more. But will Alec be ready week 1, you think? If he's not, I don't think he's out for longer than like 2 or 3 games. I don't think he starts on the pup. I think he avoids the pup. He might miss week 1, but I think he avoids the pup. here, it's pretty gross, but I'll go with Pat Bryant. I think someone that could be a really good floor play and just like score a lot of touchdowns in that system. I think he's sneaky bet for touchdown upside, but especially if Sutton goes down, this would be an excellent pick. Pat Bryant could be a volume monster in that scenario. And even though it's crowded, I still think he could offer us like 75 targets this year without any injuries. Give me like 120, 130 for Jalen Waddle. I think 130 is probably the bet. Give me 100 for Cortland Sutton. And then give me something like 70, 75 targets for Pat Bryant. There's going to be a lot of them. I'll tell you that. More than you would think. But Alec will be ready, says 0. Surgery wasn't that serious or even necessary. Just a cleanup. I hope you're right, 0. Ideally, he's ready week 1. But I could see them be a little cautious with him. Just a little bit, if necessary. Him and Warren should ball out. Yeah, feels pretty safe to bet on the Colts pass catchers. There's so few of them. But 50-50, I time this fast puppy right. Good luck, Shamrock. I hope we see you in there. K-Space, a Dolphins fan. I hated Tua and Mike McDaniel, but we'll see. So happy they're gone. Together, I don't think they were great. There's a lot of limitations for Tua, but McDaniel is always better suited as just the play caller, not the full head coach. A few limitations with McDaniel. Definitely more ideal as a play caller. Not the main man. But Bobby Slowick, yeah, don't trust Bobby Slowick at all. Malik is a baller, though, says Shamrock. He's shown some flashes, that's for sure. He actually looks like a pretty good passer at this stage of his career. But not a good offense. Definitely a big step down from the Packers. But 0 has a lot of Debo and no downs. Interesting. Not a single share of downs. That's kind of bold, honestly. Malik is the truth. I don't know about that. He's good. He's fine. I don't know about the truth. My chat is starting to freeze up a little bit. So let me try and refresh it. But yes, this is true, Bets Baller. Amon-Ra, absolutely. If he wasn't number 1, I think he was like number 2 in all of red zone targets. I believe he had 30 red zone targets last year. This is an interesting bet, Huhames. This is a pretty competitive wager there. Troy is the truth. Troy Franklin. I don't know about that. He started off that way, but down the stretch, they definitely pivoted towards Bryant. In the playoffs, they did not trust Franklin the way they trusted Pat Bryant. Yeah, Tua was the main problem. McDaniel is good, but his first coaching job had to overcome a lot. Maybe not the best culture setter, especially on defense. And then the Dolphins just also can't play in bad weather. But you made the playoffs twice with Tua and McDaniel. Does that not mean anything? Kept you out of irrelevance for multiple years. That is worth something. Best gets at Browns quarterback, I would say Shador. I would say it starts week 1 with Watson, and then he looks terrible. They pivot to Shador by like week 6 or 7, and then maybe take him off the field by like week 14. It's possible Shador also loses the job, but I think they pivot to Shador for the most of the season. I think he's their guy. All right, Jackson Duffy was in here. Dynasty was in here. And then Jesus was in here. But let me recap my team one final time in totality. Jaden, Malik, and Rodgers. That Rodgers pick does help, but I might be too thin at receiver. Might have been unnecessary. Achane, Scatterboat, Bucky Irving, and Kenny Gainwell. Both Buccaneers backfield bets are interesting. One of them might not be very good. And if it is just one, it's probably Bucky Irving. Don't love it, but gotta scoop him up every now and then. We got Katron as well as RB5, but Amon-Ra, our main bet, needs to stay healthy. I think he will. Alec Pierce should pop. Might be off the field week 1, though. Hopefully he isn't. Addison, high spike weeks, but not very consistent. Trusting Kyler, a little bit tough. Pittman stacked up. Very safe pick. Probably one of the best values on the board. And then Travis Hunter, hopeful for the breakout, but might get screwed. Debo, hopefully stays healthy. And then Pat Bryant, hopefully gives us a really good floor that we're underestimating. Hopefully he gives us like 80 targets in Denver's high gear passing attack. Bo Nix threw the ball over 600 times last year. We're in business if that's the case once again. But Trey McBride makes this team really interesting with the elite tight end. And then we will get some flex contributions out of Okonkwo and Dulcich. So if anything, maybe we get only 3 receivers in the lineup necessary every week. It's possible that Dulcich really helps the lack of floor at wideout. So wish me luck. I might need it, but an interesting team. I don't have many teams with Achane, Bucky Irving, or Trey McBride. This one was definitely a slightly unique combo for sure. But no one is a member, so I'm just going to do a couple real fast just because Chewy's been in here for the first time today in a minute. I feel like it's been a week since we've seen BMZ. But Mahomes and Stroud, a little gross, honestly. Not in love with that. Cook, Saquon, Javonte Rico, and Jonathan Brooks. That's pretty lit. That's interesting. Stroud saved you, though. 14 picks past ADP. Holy shit. You could have been in dire straits without Stroud here. Tet and Carnell Tate. Rome and Shaheed. Diggs and A.D. Mitchell, Ridley and Kirk, Fannin, Schultz, and Kolar. Not bad, especially if Mahomes hits, but a naked Mahomes is always a little bit weird. The receiver room doesn't feel great enough to be ecstatic about it, but running back feels really strong. And then quarterback is basically double unstacked. Your only stack is Dalton Schultz. That's not the best. Let's be honest. That could be a little bit better correlated. But hopefully quarterback saves you if Mahomes delivers. To take him at 85 unstacked is kind of wild. If anything, I'd be pulling up Kelsey if I pull up Mahomes from pick 12. Good luck, Jesus. Good luck on this one. But I'll also check out Jackson Duffy. I don't think we looked at his team last time. But Burrow and Dart, chilling with that. Jacob, Swift, Warren, Rodriguez. Those 4 are solid. Pacheco, Sampson, and Ray Davis. So a 7th running back, a little luxury pick. Not terrible, but maybe unnecessary. Puka, London, Devontae Smith, Downs, Wandale, Trey Harris, Malachi Fields. Receiver feels great. And then Likely and Freiermuth. Yeah, maybe one of these running backs could have been tight end 3, but ultimately it's not that big of a deal. I think Likely and Freiermuth can get it done. Hopefully Likely is not as bad as last year, though. He kind of sucked, but definitely more volume stacks up with Dart. You have no one stacked with Burrow, though. That always feels weird. Always feels kind of strange. And then you're only stacking up Dart with Fields and Likely. So, yeah, 2 teams that are not very stacked. And maybe you get away with it. Maybe you can still advance without him. But in the final, I sure hope Likely or Fields is the guy you need, because that's kind of the only way to win big money at the top of the contest. But Dynasty, our last review, and then we will draft one more fast puppy. Allen and Love, that's fine. McCaffrey, Rashad fucking saves it. Holy shit. Because then Keaton, Tajay, Kamara, and Jaden Blue, a lot is hinging on Rashad White here. Or for Omarion Hampton to get hurt. And I don't want that to happen, so good luck. This is kind of a tricky running back room. We have Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson, Parker Washington, Jaden Reed, Chris Godwin, Shakir, Boston, and Jalen Knoll, Bowers, and Auten. Very interesting with the elite at all 4 positions. The Allen and Bowers team, don't see that too often. And then McCaffrey with Garrett Wilson. Interesting team. Yeah, holy hero running back. Definitely the way to say it. Yeah, this team feels a little bit shaky. In all honesty, those 3 team reviews make my team kind of feel a little bit better. I believe that's it, though, for watchers that I'm aware of in this lobby. So, as promised, we will hop into the Fast Puppy. And one quick reminder, we haven't mentioned it yet today, but if you are interested in signing up for Underdog, I can get you $50 in bonus entries using promo code BLUNT on sign up. The link is in the description, only applies for new customers. Location matters. Some states it's ineligible, but for the most part, anywhere in the US, it's probably the case that you can play Underdog. And if you are interested in signing up, definitely take advantage of promo code BLUNT, an extra $50 in bonus funds. That's 10 free puppies or 2 free BBMs on me after you play your first $5. You're going to get your first deposit matched by up to $1,000, 50% on sign up. Good luck. Use the link in the description if you're interested. But all right, we are ready to draft. We are hopping in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. We are in the Fast Puppy. There were about 4 spots eligible, so ideally you got in. But I saw you type this K-Space before I counted down. I'm not really sure if that's the case, but are you in here? I don't see you, Space Cowboy. I don't see you in this one. We got heavy hitter in this one, going ham daily at the 102, Zero Fucks the 103, Osoj at the 104, the Burgess at the 105. I pulled pick 6, so hopefully not the same build as last time. But then high stakes all day at the 107. Jantara is in here, member of the Blunt rotation at pick 8. Air Jeff at 109. Jesus in here again at pick 10. And then Mr. Brainwash and Game Tight rounding out picks 11 and 12. Welcome, everyone. We got some team reviews in store for Game Tight, Jantara, and Zero. Good luck, everyone. Let me try and get back in to the chat. But I do not see UK Space. Maybe you have a burner account, maybe a second one, but I do not see you in this one. Good luck, bro. You're the one that needed it the most, so I hope this keeps you alive. I hope we don't need to bring in the defibrillator, because I'm worried about a panic attack. Sorry, Foreign Barber. Looks like you didn't get in, but good luck in the other one. Do I go Amon-Ra again? It really came in handy, but no, JSN's available. I've come to the conclusion I was too underweight on JSN a few weeks ago. I am now just taking him wherever I can, because I don't want to be overweight on JSN, but I want to get back to 8%. And I was sitting at like 2% for a minute. I was like, oh shit, this could actually burn me if I don't have enough JSN teams. But it's still July. There's still a bunch of time to catch up. It's not the end of the world at all to draft JSN. But you go CMC at the 105. Good luck, Austin. Good luck again. Shamrock missed it, unfortunately. Good luck. We got pick 8 in an overflow for Who-Hames. K-Space, I'm glad we're okay. But yeah, K-Space can jump all around the universe. Clearly an adventurer. A pioneer, a space cowboy pioneering through the galaxy. He'll be okay. Who-Hames is in the overflow, though. Pulled the 103 2 times with 0. Never a problem. But all your homies are soft fading JSN now. The only reason I'm still not doing it is because of my exposure. That's the only reason where I'm like, do I really want less than 3% of any player in the first round? Probably not. Probably not. I faded him for a while, so it's going to be a minute for me to catch up. I don't expect to hit 8% anytime soon, unless I just like keep getting picks 5 and accepting my fate with him over and over. But I don't expect to finish like 11% JSN. I'm just trying to get back up to at least like 6 before it's too late. Yeah, I've definitely been fading JSN since the pre-draft, but let me get up to 5-6%, and then I'll go back to saying never mind. But, oh no, I'm chilling in the 12, having a good time, saying at least 8 of us in the overflow. Okay, gotcha. I've noticed these lobbies fill very, very quickly, but there was a lot of people in this lobby as well. We had like at least 6 people watching in this one. But K-Space like Rick from Rick and Morty. That's dope. Sweaty ass overflow. Fuck. Good luck. London goes. So Henry's still on the board. I feel like I have a decent amount of JSN and Henry. Like, if I ever am drafting running back with JSN, it's usually Henry. Today, I'll get different. Today, I'll go AJ Brown. Fuck it. But K-Space going to Jamaica. My liver is not ready. I hope you get fucking faded, bro. Hope you get faded. But, I thought I forgot something. Yeah, I noticed Jiri real fast, I think during the team reviews, and didn't get to it. But thanks for popping in, Jiri. Appreciate it. Shout out our boy Jiri Football, friend of the channel. Awesome live streamer. Check him out over there at Jiri Football. Appreciate that on the thumbnail. Who was on the thumbnail today? I forget. It was Jared Goff. That's right. Yeah. Of course, Jiri's a fan of a Lion on the thumbnail. A few days ago, we had Sam Laporta on the thumbnail. I believe that was like 5 or 6 days ago. So I'm just going by ADP. We're already down to the 9th round. That means we've live streamed over 100 different teams, 100 different days, 100 different separate live streams. I'm already drafting my 3rd today. If anything, we're drafting 3 teams on every live stream. So I have drafted a shit ton on YouTube, and 300 overall teams kind of checks out for me this year. I think I'm somewhere over 300, close to like 350, if I had to guess. But thanks for hopping in, Jiri. Appreciate seeing you. All right, let me scroll back down. Yeah, I thought so, K-Space. You're not in this draft, brother. Good luck in the one you are in, though. But yeah, if you can manufacture another 50 likes, we'll definitely draft I draft a BBM for you if you can manufacture another 50 likes. We're at 56 likes, 80 people watching. Yo, appreciate everyone for hopping in here. Means a lot. But today, sure, yikes. Really? Am I going to do that? I think so, but yikes. Breece Hall. Not worth this pick, if you ask me. He can spike for 30 plus points, so talented enough to be worth it, I guess, but like, I hate taking Breece Hall in the 3rd. It's so annoying. Who has already been sitting at 5-6%. Yeah, I was way too low on the fade. I was at like 1% for a minute. Then we got up to 2.3, and I was like, shit, this could actually be really bad if I keep it. Only 2%, but I think right now it's up to like 5. I think we've bumped it up to 5%. It's still underweight on the year. But McNix says I'm tempted to fade JSN as well. But I don't really want to be that underweight on guys who can drop 10 for 150 and 2. And yeah, once I saw how much of a first read target share JSN had, and like factoring in how few other weapons are actually going to get targets, it's like, yeah, JSN is probably a lock to finish top 5. So in that regard, I probably don't want none of him. That feels a bit risky, but I don't want to be overweight. I still think at pick 5, to have all your shares of JSN right there is a risk. I think in general, you mostly want him when he falls. He's my 7th overall player off the board, but I could argue that's still a little bit too high. I could see him mostly worth like not pick 9 or 10. At pick 6, though, I'm fine doing it. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, in this one, we got some non-badges. We got 4 non-badges in this one. Jantara is a member of the blunt rotation, though. So is Burgess. So just because you don't have a badge doesn't mean you have no clue what you're doing. Sometimes I see terrible teams drafted by some people with very impressive badges. But, this is not ideal. Not ideal at all. I'm going to go with Luther Burden. I'm kind of going against my strategy with Burden. Typically, I only want him when he's top of ADP, but I'll mix him in today. Not afraid to do it. I did not want Garrett Wilson at all. I did not want Neighbors either. I didn't feel desperate to pull up Jalen Waddle in this moment. I'll go Luther Burden instead. His ADP is exactly pick 43, so at least it's not above ADP. But Everin Flux ripping a big globber. Godspeed. You know what? I have no idea what a globber is. Kind of sounds weird. But if anything, if you're taking a rip, now's probably the time for me to take a rip as well. It's been a minute. Let's get back to it, shall we? If we can somehow get over 100 likes, that'd be freaking crazy. But we're at 83 viewers. This is definitely a successful live stream this evening. So if anything, K-Space, you probably helped bring in a lot of people with all these comments. So appreciate it, despite a couple of them being a little bit odd. Jiri apparently has the best audio voice when he's using the right mic. No, we love Jiri. On occasion, StreamYard does him dirty on occasion. Gives him the wrong microphone. He has a very crisp, very sharp mic. It's always annoying when you invest in the equipment and then when you plug in, the tech says, nope, you're not going to use that one. We're going to give you the built-in microphone, the janky-ass one in the computer, and not tell you. But, yeah, Jiri's got a good stream going. Good for our boy, Jiri Football. All right, back on the clock here. Running back. Damn it. Fuck. This is brutal. I don't want to take Bucky again. Shit. I do not want to do that at all. I'm going to go JMO. Fuck it. We'll just have a strong receiver build. Going to have to mix in more running backs later. But got sniped on Tootin. That would have been valuable. Some running backs went early. Like Scatabo wasn't there for us at 43. Even David Montgomery went early. Jacobs was off the board. Maybe I should have taken Derrick Henry. Maybe that was the right choice. But didn't do it on this one. Kind of regret it. Yeah, load some burners, Case. Set up 40 different burner accounts. That's one way to do it. But Everin Flux says, damn it. My second BBM this year, I got JSN at pick 8. That's pretty sweet. That's not bad. But the more content you consume, the worse teams you build. I'm not sure about that. I've consumed more best ball content this year than ever before, and I would say my builds have gotten better. But yeah, if we can somehow get up to 100 likes, that'd be fucking crazy. You're going for it, man. You're just on one today. I appreciate it. Appreciate the commitment. But all day says he's high stakes in here on a tolerance break though. Which pick do you have? Right next to me at pick 7. All right, you go Amon-Ra, Drake London, Travis, Dave Montgomery, and Bucky Irving. Pretty solid team. That Montgomery pull-up, a little steep for me, but honestly, structurally, it did actually work out for you to have 2 running backs there with Travis. Not bad at all. But good to know. I feel like this could mean several other things. I'm glad that that's what it means. But yeah, once it happens a few times, you're like, okay, now we're gonna lock in and try to check it every single time. Once it happens to you, you're like, all right, let's do a little pre-check, pre-stream checklist. Make sure the mic is actually plugged in and all is good. But all love, Jiri. You know you're a good friend of the channel. If I get sniped on Drake May, I will be disappointed. High stakes. So please let me have him. I do not want Jordan Tyson at all. I want to stack up AJ Brown, and I'm able to do it. Love that. I might need Tony Pollard a lot more desperately, to be honest, but we're going to Just favor the stack. We're going to trust Breece Hall today. Feels gross as fuck. But... Whoa, wait a minute. Oh, shit. Why did I do that? Oh, no. No. I took Joe Burrow. Fuck. Damn it. So here's what happened. Drake May was at the top of my ranks, and Joe Burrow was at the top of ADP. And when I pivoted to check the ADP, my dyslexia kicked in, and I just assumed that Drake May was still atop the ADP. Damn it. Oh, I just wrecked this team. Fuck. We shit on somebody else the other day for taking an unstacked Joe Burrow, and now the shoe's on the other foot. Fuck. I'm sorry, Zero. Not intentional, but damn it. I totally thought I was taking Drake May there. Damn it. No, if anything, that's the reason. Yeah, just took an L. Fuck. Yeah, it totally threw me off. Fuck. And then running back also just like completely got decimated. Oh, I'm getting worked on this one. This is not a good team. I'm not happy with this team at all. Fuck. Just gonna pull up Rico, overspend on it. Damn, this is not good. Yoshi Gesicki stacks is salvageable. You know what? Ever and Flux, fuck you too. Yeah, we can still get Gesicki and Yoshi Voss. Yeah, what a delight. What a delight. Sorry about that, man. Damn it. Fuck! Yeah, Burgess getting a good value. Yeah. All right, shake it off and lock back in Blunt. Eric All round 18 league winner. You know what? Yeah, this will be an Eric All team. That's what we're gonna set up. 100% get the different piece with Eric All. Zero wanted Dart this year. This year's Drake May. Wow. For the schedule is not the worst call. The schedule's definitely good, but Eric All is the tight end of choice. Yeah, I think that's probably the move. Get different with it. The breakout could definitely be looming for sure. Jamar and T getting sent to IR in the first half of the season is the win condition. No, we need the Bengals at full capacity. We just need a random spike from the backstack. Yeah, we're all in. We're locked in. We're gonna be fine. Colby Young into the queue. I don't know about that. No, if anything, we're going Jermaine Burton. We're sending the Jermaine Burton shares. We're scrolling the fuck down and drafting Jermaine Burton. That's the move. Wow, Alec Pierce at 91? Sure, why not? There's no value at running back here worth it. Sure. Yikes. Burrow hasn't been healthy since college. Yeah, he's definitely an injury-prone guy. Damn it. This team needed Drake May. I know. What if this team is the... That'd be shocking. If anything, the team that's going to win it all is the team I was shit-talking the other day that took Burrow unstacked at 61 from the 12th slot. If anything, that's the team that probably wins it all. But Vegeta says, hey, look at it like this. Drake May has the third hardest schedule and the number one hardest for playoffs. Burrow is top 5 easiest, so that's a plus. All right, there we go. There's the silver lining. Thank you, Vegeta. Super Saiyan. Dragon Ball Z was fucking lit, so appreciate it. And I think you had another comment. Might have scrolled over that real quick, but you're saying, what up? Could this be Travis Etienne's best year, and will he be a 3-down back, or will Kamara be annoying? Thoughts on him in round 3-4 turn, where he's going in redraft, full PPR. I think in full PPR, he's a little less valuable. I'd prefer him in half. However, I also can see the scenario where he does have the best season of his career. I wouldn't think it's impossible Kamara is going to be more of a thorn in the side. And now I'm a little more convinced that probably Kamara does stay with the team. Odds are Kamara, I think, will be playing this year. So that's going to be annoying, but Kamara is kind of washed. Last year, he was pretty washed. It's not a real threat. And ultimately, I just want to follow the money and trust the Kellen Moore system. Their running back has been pretty productive over the course of the seasons, but they have not been catching many passes. So that's where in full PPR, I might fade him a little bit. I think I'd rather have Breece Hall in full PPR than Travis, but he's a solid pick. No doubt about it. He's a solid pick. Kind of want to take Laporta and risk Goff coming back, but I think I just have to go running back. I'm going to go Jonathan Brooks, and let's bet on the breakout. We're going to need it. We're going to need some player at this point at running back to like drastically outperform their ADP. And the guy who's the best candidate to do that, I think, is Jonathan Brooks in a major way. If he wins the job, it would be a major, major breakout in terms of the price tag here. But maybe Rachaad White was the better pick. Maybe Kenny Gainwell's more productive. But Brooks, from a true upside standpoint, I think he's the more talented of the remaining players in this range. But McNick's 19. This is the time for the Jermaine Burton redemption arc. I know, right? If not now, it's never going to happen, right? But last year was when I was still willing to bet on it, and it definitely was a worthless call. Jermaine Burton is pretty much done. But Air Jeff, weird draft. I think you and I had to reach on running backs early and panicked. Yeah, if anything, the Derrick Henry pass was probably just the wrong move. If anything, that would make this team way better. I would also have the bring back at least versus Joe Burrow to compensate. But no, I shot myself in the foot by taking Burrow instead of Drake May. But we're up to 61 likes. Appreciate everyone for dropping a like here. Sladen says, sup, been listening only on the drive home. Got stuck in the puppy overflow room with all the streets being tough. You're drafting in the puppy while you're also driving home? Damn. What a multitasking effort by you. I don't know if I would... I don't think I've ever drafted a team while driving. That's kind of wild. Guys, the kids in Africa need the likes. Gaslighting everyone. Goff did not make it back. Yeah, I remembered high stakes had Amon-Ra right next to me, so it was not worth it. But yeah, running back is pretty important. At this point, the unstacked Joe Burrow is just like, he's going to be so fucking good that like he just really pays off that ADP. And even unstacked, it's worth it. So the QB2 is a little bit more worthless having Burrow in this circumstance. I'm just going to take RB4 with Jordan Mason. The steam is starting to get pumped up for Jordan Mason a little bit. Definitely a chance that his ADP is moving up the board pretty soon and pretty quickly. There has been a camp report indicating Mason might be well above Aaron Jones this year. But last year, from a talent standpoint, Aaron Jones looked way, way better. But from an age standpoint, the logic that they want to be fading Jones' workload a little bit, definitely keep him healthy, is pretty viable. Mason won't be catching many passes, but he could be the goal line back, and he probably gets the most carries in Minnesota. That has been of value at times. The Vikings running back, maybe not the most productive in history, but especially under Kevin O'Connell, it's been kind of brutal at times. But paired up with Kyler Murray, typically the production goes up, and anything will be better than the offense was last year with essentially rookie J.J. McCarthy. So whether Kyler just delivers or somehow McCarthy gets the job and improves, Mason should be a little better this year. But I still feel kind of gross about my running back room. So receiver is really deep, and we got some backstack options. I'm going to go Chris Rodriguez here. I'm going to build out the running back room because, boy, it did feel kind of gross. And now it actually has some value. Now it actually doesn't feel terrible. We got Breece Hall, Rico Dowdle, Jonathan Brooks, Jordan Mason, and Chris Rodriguez These are three of the guys I think can actually save you if you push the position. I think getting one of the three, Brooks, Gainwell, or Rashad, is pretty critical if you push running back. We did reach on Rico, but basically we took Alec Pierce in the 7th, and then Rico was still there in the 9th. The fall on Alec Pierce negated the reach on Rico. So just to have him was important, and then pretty valuable, like, low-end options. In all honesty, I think my running back room kind of shaked out kind of decently. I'm the first player in the lobby to have 5 running backs. So whenever that happens, that's always a good sign. And especially to have him by Chris Rodriguez. That's the last one before the massive, massive cliff. But keep the likes going so we can draft another. Honestly, the likes have just never slowed up. We're at 61 likes now. We have 75 viewers. I'll be honest with you. I did not expect this, and I really can't envision we hit it, but it is possible. It's not insane for me to request this. If we get up to 75 likes, I will draft one more, and I might even draft a BBM. You know what? Best Ball Mania would be the move if we get to 75 likes. You would definitely earn a BBM from me at 75 likes. But that Keaton Mitchell pick, catch you up. Hames, did you draft Keaton Mitchell? Holy shit. Holy shit. That's a sign of the apocalypse when Hames is drafting Keaton Mitchell. No, we're not liking it for some bogus charity in Africa. Some money laundering scheme sponsored by Sarah McLachlan. We're not hyping that up at all. We are liking the stream to get to a BBM entry at 75 likes. Here, I need my tight end 1. I kind of feel like I should be taking Darnold, but I'm just going to keep pushing. I really don't care. I think Goddard is way more valuable than Laporta. Plus, we're just convinced that Burrow is just elite on this one. Just building out the starting roster instead of the bench. But maybe I get rewarded. There's only one team around this 12-13 turn that only has one quarterback so far. Everybody else has 2, if not 3. The team at the 101 already has 3 quarterbacks. They took Purdy, Love, and Baker. Pretty interesting, but I would expect this team at the 102 to draft at least one quarterback. He goes with Cam Ward. Stacked up with Tony Pollard, it is something. But luckily, he doesn't have Rashid Shaheed or like Josh Downs. He doesn't have either of my stacking partners to steal. So you could argue that I needed 3 quarterbacks on this team. I should have taken Darnold at 139 and then taken Daniel Jones at 150. But I think only taking one of the 2 is also fine. And I'm willing to press my luck and say that one of them will still be here at 150. I believe I will get one of the quarterbacks I want at 150. We will find out. But Vegeta says Burrow said he actually feeling his best and is excited about this year. So at least he's not going to pull out like Andrew Luck. Burrow been talking crazy last few seasons. Yeah, the quote that he wasn't having fun playing football was definitely concerning about early retirement risk. Could have a Carson Palmer situation on our hands again. Could be Carson Palmer 2.0. But I think he still has a couple years left in the tank. I would love to see him leave, though. I would love to see him play somewhere else. And as I hoped, we do get the fall. Sam Darnold falls 9 picks. So I'll take him on this JSN team. I would be shocked if Daniel Jones made it back all the way back around. But the team at the bookend has both Rashid Shaheed and Josh Downs. I'll take the higher ADP. Because if anything, people that are just like, oh, look, we can get an unstacked quarterback a full round past ADP. Let's just do it. That's more likely to happen. So if one is still going to fall, it's Daniel Jones, not Darnold. the ADP prefers Sam Darnold. Everyone feels good till they play behind a shitty O-line. Preach, Who Hames. Preach, brother. But Zero says, let me get Kelsey back at least. You did. You did. You got him at 118. Always clutch to get the Mahomes back stack. You did not have Rashee Rice, so pushed it, and it worked out in your favor. I was not inclined to go Kelsey on this one. Not excited if I took Kelsey there. Okay. Yeah, the likes have been moving. We're up to 68 likes right now, and as we mentioned, 75 triggers of Best Ball Mania. My budget is not going to be excited, but honestly, 75 likes on tonight's live stream, I think definitely warrants a BBM. But yes, but him saying that he hasn't been excited for years is motivation, and they addressed the line during the draft. I'm hopefully optimistic that it does work out. I'm hopefully optimistic. We'll see. But fuck that. Hell no, K-Space. Hell no. Hunter Henry falling back here would be so fucking clutch. I have no idea why he'd be there, though. Wow. Been really hyped on taking Hunter Henry here, and although I missed the Drake May click, I am not going to leave him available. To the Burgess. The Burgess should have taken Hunter Henry in the last round if he wanted him. I very much need tight end production. So, arguably, I should have taken Hunter Henry in the last round, but I also needed quarterback points, so Darnold was the clear move. And getting Hunter Henry to circle back, I think, was a huge, huge steal. Honestly, this team, I think, is not looking too bad other than Burrow instead of Drake May. Jeez, man, this team would look fucking lit if I had Drake May on it. Damn. That's unfortunate. Fuck. I'm so pissed that happened. Really, really pissed. Let me get to the board, though. Sorry about that. I swear the best teams I draft is when it's on your stream. Laugh my ass off. I love this team. I mean, you're right next to me, so for you to love it that much, maybe not the best sign for me. But you capitalize on Drake May. You got Drake May, so good for you. Ruined the Jags super stack. Did I do it? Oh, you wanted C-Rod? Nah, you weren't getting C-Rod. Fuck no. C-Rod is one of my favorite picks in the 11th round. But Everyone Flux wants a BBM. Jiri saying late night BBM streets are lit. I know, it'd be pretty fun. We are 5 likes away. We have 70 likes, I believe. It might happen. Here, though, do I take the third quarterback or do I just trust in Burrow? Damn it. I'm so pissed I don't have Drake May. I think I'm just going to take AJ Barner, stack him up, and move on. Leave the quarterbacks alone. Yeah, we're just believing in Joe Burrow. Ultimately, that's all I'm doing. But, oh, shit. I'm supposed to take Eric All, aren't I? That's what we said I was going to do. So, fuck. This is a four tight end build? Honestly, I think we can get away with it. We got JSN, AJ Brown, Luther Burden, J-Mo, and Alec Pierce. What would the math be on that? A 2-5. I'm going to stop at 5 running backs. 2-5, 4 tight ends. That would be 11 players. So, yeah, 2 more receivers, 1 more tight end. Yeah, the 2-5-7-4 might be the move here. Yeah, we are almost there. We have 71 likes. We need 4 more. We have 75 viewers. I'm trying to get to 75 likes to do 1 more BBM. Otherwise, I'll go to bed. But, gotcha. Gotcha, Who Hames. Some spiteful clicks from Whohames. The Keaton Mitchell, a rare sighting from our boy. But I know, right? How the fuck did K-Space enter so early? That was pretty wild. But 75 likes for the children in Africa. Do it for the kids. But if I had to guess, we need 4 likes. There's probably 4 people that are watching that haven't liked yet. But, ooh, looks like we just lost some viewers. Maybe it's not going to happen. Perhaps we don't hit the like goal at 75. I think this team can tolerate a random Tank Dell share. Sure. Why not? But, yeah. Never seen that from Whohames, typically. RB3, Keaton Mitchell. That's kind of wild. But, we got 73 likes, so I'll probably hit the pipe. 2 more rounds, people. We can make it. I believe in it. But I said 75, so I'll stick with 75. I think we're going to get there. One more like. If anything, I could probably like it myself. But let's see if it can happen organically. What if Mitchell Tinsley takes over as alpha receiver 1? Something to think about. Nah, I'm not taking Tinsley. We hit it. We fucking hit it. I knew it was possible. All right. We're drafting BBM because we got 78 likes right now. Oh boy. All right. Here it feels funny. But I'm going to do it. I also love our top 5 receivers, so I think we can actually tolerate it. But I'm queuing him up. I'm taking him. We're taking him. So, Burgess, don't snipe me. We're going Andre Yoshivas. Let's get it. We do have Burrow actually stacked up. Burrow and Darnold are our only 2 quarterbacks. Burrow is just that good. He's all you need, but we do have him at least stacked up in the final round. We got Breece Hall and Rico Dowdle, Jonathan Brooks, Jordan Mason, Chris Rodriguez. The running back room, I think, is fine. Like, legitimately, I actually feel decent about the running back room. We got JSN, AJ Brown, Luther Burden, JMO, Alec Pierce, Tank Dell, and Andre Yoshivas. I think we are fine with 7. We may get nothing out of Tank Dell or Yoshivas, but worth some risk. I'm worried about this team in the first place, but worth the risk. And then tight end is going to be fucking insane with Goddard, Hunter Henry, and AJ Barner so far. We're also tacking on Eric All. We will put him on this team. I promise you. Unless we get sniped. Unless somebody really wants to snipe me on Eric All. Be my guest. Be my fucking guest. Austin, I got 2 tight ends, so you can have him. That was Hunter Henry. The price was really nice on Hunter Henry. But watch Burrow have a Peyton Manning Denver Broncos 50 touchdown season. I sure hope so, man. If that's what's gonna happen, then I was also getting clipped from that other draft where we shit on it. Somebody else's team. All right. Thankfully we did not get sniped on Eric All. Someone went Evan Ingram. Let's mix him in. We're going Eric All, tight end 4 on this banger. Fun team. Obviously, it needed Drake May. This one would have much better chances with Drake May. And damn it, my dyslexia cost me an excellent team. But Burrow, advanced rate quarterback for Darnold, JSN, playoff smash. I sure hope so, right? After that Burrow hiccup, we need another draft. Better here than BBM. Agreed. Well, I addressed running back in round 14. Good for you, Zero. All right, let me just catch up. Yeah, we hit the 75. We're doing it. 2 QBs, 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, 2 running backs. What's up, Hulk Smash? How we doing? You ready for BBM? Gesicki overall. Everin Flux is not here for the bit. We're trying to get different. We're trying to get a little unique with our tight end 4. But my favorite pick is Jalen Hurts going round 6. It's not a bad call. Hurts is typically always paid off. Brett might be in our next BBM team. Huhames went 8 running backs. Interesting. Do the Eagles actually have the easiest schedule this year? That feels hard to believe. Yeah. The Burrow pick was unfortunate. That's funny. I'm not sure if he was desperate for Vidal, but love that you took him, Huhames. Vidal and Keaton. Love it for you. Damn, the chat just fucking popping. All right, I'm going to give up on my pursuit of the chat. We have a few team reviews to do. Let's go quickly. Zero has Dart, Mahomes, and Mendoza. All set right there. Mahomes 99, always decent. But Kyron Chuba, yuck. Jonah Coleman, yuck. Dylan Sampson, boy, get your vomit bag. The flight has reached turbulence. And then Mike Washington, possibly one of the most worthless picks, but also the most obvious handcuff in Vegas. So good luck, but yikes. Yikes. Running back, feels gross. Chase, Nico, Neighbors at 46 is pretty lit, though. Adams, Harrison, Tucker, and Boston. Your team almost had Burrow, but didn't. Kelsey and Isaiah Likely, Michael Mayer. We are really living, aren't we? Michael Mayer, really for shits and giggles. Not bad, but yeah, we're doing a BBM after this. And Austin, apologies, but only members of the Blunt Rotation get a team review on this one. I believe we took a look at your other team earlier. So we're going to skip the Burgess. We're going to move over to John Tara's team. Zero always builds good ones. I hate his running back room, but everything else checks out. Structurally, it's fine. We got T-Law and Bo Nix. Fine, pushing it with just those two. Always decent to mix in some of those ones. But Taylor, Achan, Kenny G, Tyron Tracy, Tyjae, and Bigsby. Love it. Love it, love it. Other than Tracy, a little expensive, but Spear's a little expensive too. But you have Bigsby, who's valuable than both of them. It's totally fine. The top 3 are good. That's for sure. T. Higgins, Ted McMillan, Carnell Tate, BTJ, Quentin Johnston, Tesla, and Pat Bryant. The top 5 are excellent, so love it. Andrews, Gunnar Helm, and Ingram. Very solid at tight end. The random Evan Ingram pick, probably worth it. Honestly, nobody really does it. It's a very low-owned stack. He probably gets another like 70 targets again. He just sucked in the end zone. He had a lot of drops as well. Ingram looks so bad, but it's probably worth taking every now and then. Because he goes undrafted. It's probably worth mixing in. They throw the ball too much in Denver for him to be totally worthless. It is unique. And from that standpoint, why not? But good luck. Honestly, I think it all checks out. These two just have to stay healthy, and you're in business. I like the team a lot. Jantara, good job. No badge, but very good job. We got Game Tight, our last team review with Lamar. Jaden Daniels, that is good to stop there. Genty and Hampton, the elite sophomore running back start, always excellent. Javante Scatterboat, you also took Katron at 204. That's a fair pick, but maybe unnecessary. It's the last round, so I forgive it. 5 running backs is totally fine with only 2 quarterbacks. But Godwin, Downs, Coker, Shaheed, Juwan Jennings, Flournoy, Williams, Branch, and Rashad Bateman. Yeah, this is definitely a 9 receiver build and still kind of feels a little shaky, honestly. Coker, receiver 3. Never ideal. But you knew what you were risking when you waited till Godwin to draft the first one. So maybe it checks out. You have Laporta at 108. Holy shit. And then Kyle Pitts, excellent tight end room. Yeah. As long as receiver fits in the right puzzle piece order, you are living. Good luck, bro. That's pretty sweet. No, we're not going to do a 5-1 K-Space. We set the like goal. Why would I do that? K-Space. That would be crazy. We got up to 82 likes, and I didn't even like the video. We still have 80 viewers. We mentioned it was going to happen. If somehow you're a member and I forgot you in that last draft, leave a comment. I'll take a peek afterwards. But, oh, all day just joined. Appreciate it, bro. I will take a look. But first, we're going to hop into Best Ball Mania. And if you want to draft with me, we're hopping in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 8 spots available, so going to be a packed house here. Let's take a look at All Day's team, though. High Stakes just became a member, so absolutely going to check it out. I do not see the little flare up for it. Honestly, the chat's been popping, so which pick did I get? Pick 7. Damn it. I do not want to be in the middle again. That's fine, though. Could be much worse. How many of you guys are in here, though? We got Montano Meta, Super Beast, Hilltoppers, Brew Crew, McNix in here, Air Jeff, Jontara, Oso, Danimal, Space Cowboy did make it, K-Space, not afraid of the buy-in, and then Max, XHTX. Good luck, everyone. Gonna be a fun one. And $25 is on the line. I will not be clicking Burrow instead of Drake May. I can assure you that. If we have AJ Brown, we're not drafting Joe Burrow by accident. But let me pull up that team that I just missed in the Fast Puppy. In that last lobby, we had High Stakes All Day. We just became a member. He had the pick 7, so let's take a look maybe for some inspiration. We have the same pick in this one. He has Goff, Stroud, and Rodgers. A little gross. Thankfully, the price on Goff did save you, but honestly, this is a little mid at quarterback if Goff doesn't crush. So better be stacked up. You have Amon-Ra and Laporta, I believe. That checks out. But Travis Montgomery at 42, expensive pick on Montgomery. Didn't love that too much, but with Bucky, that makes it unique. So I guess it does check out. Having those two is not the most common. We're almost on the clock, though. Warren and Algier, kind of mid, but fine. No issue there. Amon-Ra, Drake London, DK Metcalf, Sutton, Higgins, Omar Cooper, Noel, and Franklin. That's interesting. Totally fine with that. Love the double anchor. Very solid with that. But John Tara on the board. What does he do? I'm going to wait till my pick is over to finish the team review. I actually want to think this one through because at pick 7, I want to get a little different. JSN goes. I would probably have taken JSN there, but not right now. I guess so. I don't think I have a ton of Taylor teams in BBM. All of you guys are really sharp in this lobby. Let's take him here because he's here for a reason. Let's trust the ADP. Let's go with Jonathan Taylor on this BBM team and then finish this team review. Harold Fannin and Pat Fryermuth, not the best. Fannin feels a little gross. At 103, it's not like a big discount either. So trusting Fannin and then Fryermuth, extremely valuable but stacked up. The team's fine. Like receiver room quite a bit. Receiver room feels very strong. The Goff bet is really critical. Running back is a little unique, so at least there's that, but doesn't feel insane. The team feels good. High stakes. Quarterback might be missing a little bit of production, but Rodgers is stacked up, and so is Stroud. So it's all well correlated. It's just like maybe the running back room is a little bit mid, and then maybe some of the receiver depth is also a little bit mid. Hopefully, Fannin stays healthy. That's kind of critical, though. If Fannin gets hurt, you might be just lost all hope. And then same applies with Goff. A lot hinging on Fannin and Goff. Good luck. I think it checks out, though. Pretty solid team. Hampton went at 15. I never expected him at 18, but kind of got my hopes up for a second. Chase Brown goes. Damn it. I really wanted Ken Walker. I was really hopeful for Ken Walker. The double week 13 bye is the only reason I don't want Derrick Henry, but it feels like the much better pick. I'm going to trust my rankings. I'm going to go Derrick Henry. I'm not going to be fearful of the week 13 double up. Who cares? If anything, this comment by Zero is the vibe. Lean in. Just lean in. I hit undo, but nice and blunt, you might need to go unban Austin. I have no idea how to do that. Is this K-Space? I'm not sure. Honestly. Oh, did you ban Austin? I noticed his messages got deleted. Oh, shit. Okay. Let me check if he's back. Okay, yeah. I don't know what was going on. It looks like maybe the moderator might have made a mistake or something. I'm not sure. But, yo, this is weird. Very strange. I honestly don't really like the Zay Flowers price. I think it's too expensive. I know some people are really slapping it up with him, but I really don't like it. I'll slap it up with Lad McConkey. If I'm going to slap it up for $25, give me Lad. I don't want both Ravens. The mega stack in Baltimore is not bad, but like, yeah, pull up Lad. Definitely. Definitely Who-Hames. But don't treat it like a puppy, says Zero. Yeah, pushing receiver can be a problem in BBM. I have noticed that. So I'm gonna lean into the double anchor RB. I don't want to fall too far behind at receiver. I've definitely seen that happen to myself a few times in BBM streets. And y'all know what you're doing. We're in the middle of the board, so it's probably never gonna be too bad. But you never know. You really never know. But Zero says, brother, I'm almost maxed and I'm not hopping into a 9 shark pod. Yeah, stay on the puppy, Zero, if that's the case. But yeah, Space Cowboy made it in this one. Yeah, glad that you're still here, Austin. Zero says Zay is too cheap. I disagree. I disagree. ADP says Jacobs. I'm not going to take Neighbors. I think Neighbors can keep falling. I'll go Terry on this one. Give ourselves the option of grabbing Jaden Daniels. The double week 7 isn't great, but we have a double week 13 at running back, so it is what it is. I totally forgot about week 7. But if anything, maybe some people avoid it for that reason. K-Space getting unique. He goes Bijan, Scatabo, and Igbuka. Yeah, holy shit. Scat round 2 is expensive. It's unique. At least it's unique. But passing on London for Scatabo is insane. If anything, we just gave Team 1 a dream build, and he just shit the bed by taking Trey McBride. If anything, Team 1 should be fucking in the driver's seat, but then he takes Trey McBride. Crazy that Nico Collins fell to 29. Holy shit. This is a weird one. DJ Moore at 47, also weird. Space Cowboy doing whatever the fuck he wants. You feel me? Good luck, man. I mean, I'll tell you this. You probably weren't getting Scatabo in the 4th round. I would probably going to take him myself at 42. But I was not taking him at 31. How can I say Zay is too expensive and then take Lad, though? Because they're both too expensive. The 3rd round is just kind of expensive all over the board. And if I'm going to maybe get a little bit unique, then having access to Justin Herbert is also different. But if I got to spend money on both of them, let me mix it up with Ladd, who's probably not going to be there at 42. It's fine with both of them, though. I guess they're both all right. I understand why Zay goes earlier, but it's just kind of the nature of the third round. Everyone feels a little bit too expensive. Other than T. Higgins. Really, my rankings have T. Higgins there. But I have a shit ton of T. Higgins. I don't want T. Higgins on every fucking team. But John Tara going ham right now. He has JSN, Bowers, Nico, Jacobs, and Quinshon Judkins looking pretty solid. Hope I can come in second to John Tara as well. I mean, even Team 1 looks pretty lit. Got Neighbors and Burden to fall back. Team 1 is looking pretty insane. Yeah. This is a very interesting lobby. Very interesting. Super Beast made it different. He took Lamb and AJ Brown, Javonte, Travis, and Rome. Travis in the 4th is pretty interesting. But then Hilltoppers got the elite start with Genty, Hampton, T. Higgins, took Tet, Beisel Tootin, and Joe Burrow. Drake May is off the board. Bucky Irving goes. What is McNick's going to do? Goes Jadarian Price. So does not snipe me. I will go Jaden Daniels. I will get my quarterback. We have Terry. Let's do it. Only bummer is drafting Justin Herbert is probably not the move on this one because it's also a week 7 bye. And if I go Daniels and Herbert, I would really like to stop at 2 quarterbacks. Drafting a third would be kind of annoying. So I think I'm going to pass on Herbert on this team. Even though I have Ladd, I think I'm going to ignore Justin Herbert in the next round. It's going to be tough because odds are all the other picks I like are going to be gone at that point. It's not going to be easy, but I think odds are I'm not taking Justin Herbert in the next round. But John Tara has the most unique team in this lobby. I bet there isn't a JSN Bowers Nico team, but Jacobs could ruin it. Yeah, there is some risk on Jacobs for sure, but there's also a chance that Jacobs is one of the best picks on the board. If anything, John Tara is in a really good spot. He goes Judkins and Parker Washington. P-Wash is an interesting choice. I respect him passing, though, on Tyler Warren. Despite the fall having Bowers, I think that was the right call. But maybe Tony Pollard. I think I would have gone Pollard over P-Wash. Personally, that's my ranking on it, but I understand the people who prefer Parker Washington. But, right? What have we done? What have we done allowing such madness to occur? Space Cowboy making this thing really, really wild. He goes even further invested at running back. Goes Chuba at 50. Holy shit, I'm just noticing Chuba at 50. What the fuck, Space Cowboy? What the fuck? I mean, it's unique. You have Tyler Warren and RJ Harvey, but like, holy shit. You're crazy, bro. Scat at his true price. Right. Right. What sucks about this price on QJ, I think this is where he should go, but he was also going 30 picks later in BBM. So I think I'm going to go with DK Metcalf today. Even though it's a slight fall on Quentin Johnston, it is not a value in relation to this tournament. If it was the fast puppy, I would have taken QJ for sure right there. I would not have been that afraid of the week 7 bye. I think I would have just taken him. But in Best Ball Mania, I think he's a very bad pick. Because it's not a lock that he pays this off. He probably will, but I think there's some risk involved. And then when you factor in, back in the beginning of May, his price started off at like 104, 105. He has risen 30 spots in 2 months. I don't think it's wise to force him up the board in Best Ball Mania. You're going up against a lot other teams that had him backstacked, that had him randomly at like 110. There was a stretch there where QJ was falling into like the 10th round. It was insane. So to take him in the 7th, especially the 6th round, is pretty crazy in Best Ball Mania. I'll be honest, the chat is really getting away from me right now. But Zero believes in Declan Doyle. Yeah, if anything, Space Cowboy might be throwing this lobby out the door. I doubt it. I don't think so. But that's the Scatabo 23, Igbuka 26, and then Chuba at 50 is pretty crazy. Herbert does go to the team price enforcing. Brew Crew does not let the QJ drafter backstack him. I would have just taken him there at 90. So not letting me have any fun, but I think I would have gotten sniped as well. The price on T-Law is pretty interesting right here. However, it's also a week 7 buy, so I think I'm going to avoid that as well. I will go Kyle Monungai, I think, to get in at running back before it's too late. Monungai has very elite upside if Swift ever goes down, but just the nature of the Bears, he's the cheapest one until we get to like Jade Walker. So might as well mix him in on occasion, and then his upside is just really elite. Even if Swift just loses some of the touches, it's possible. But yeah, the bear case on Ladd is definitely there, but I'm also just willing to accept it and not be afraid. Copy paste Lade says, I'll be contacting Underdog Integrity Support for the 2-hole. I know. I don't think it's egregious enough. I don't think it's that insane, but it is something that makes you wonder. I don't think it's so bad it's going to be that relevant. I think it'll check it. I think it's going to be fine. But I got sniped big time. I was going naked burrow for sure. Yeah, right? That's the move. That's always the move. Zero, we drafted a BBM together first few weeks of BBM's opening. You got a Bijan Brock AJ start. Damn. Ain't that a nice price, but I also dipped to play Black Ops. Glad I didn't. This is a lobby you might have wanted to be in. I was picked 10, super average team. Just looking through my teams, saw that and said, shit. Yeah, that's an insane start from Zero. Purdy still available. I don't have a Niner though. So is it just the right click, or do I need to move elsewhere? I think it's the right click. I think so. ADP 95 at pick 103. I think it's fine. I can backstack him in the next round if I need to. But Daniels and Purdy, we can stop at 2 if we want. That's a very, very elite combo at QB. Yeah, the 3rd round AJ Brown was fucking fantastic. I don't think I went that hard on it, but I definitely had like 17, 18% in the pre-draft. I had well over double what the field should have. But if I go Marvin, if I'm Jontara there, I like Marvin and he correlates with Bowers. Jontara took P-Wash instead of Harrison. I understand that. Definitely understand. He also got the fall on Trevor Lawrence. That's pretty lit. That's pretty dope. Yeah, looks like K-Space feeling the heat from the chat, not loving his start. Yeah, probably a little too rich on Scatabo. Not necessary at all. But the Tyler Warren, RJ Harvey was also kind of interesting. But he likes it. That's all that matters. As long as he likes the team. That's what matters. Wow. Holy shit. Yeah. McNix didn't even fucking pause. Fucking instantly scooping him up. Damn. Good price. Good price on Dart there. That's insane. I'm tempted to go with a quarterback, but I think grabbing Kittle is pretty valuable. I like him a little more in comparison to some of the other stacks. I kind of wish I took Evans instead of Terry now, but we did have Daniel stacked up as well, so all is fair. Almost took Jared Goff. Not going to lie, I almost considered Goff to pair with J-Mo, but we have Daniels and Purdy. I think just filling out the starting lineup is also pretty important. So getting that is fine. Kittle at 114. His price has been rising, so I don't want to be underweight on Kittle too much. Definitely some risk involved with his injury and recovery timeline, but it sounds like he is looking healthier than expected. Sounds like he's okay. But, McNix, I never take Quentin Johnson, but I kind of dislike this whole range when I'm not going quarterback. That's very fair. Yeah, round 7's pretty gross. I think QJ should have always been going in this range, but in this contest, it's less valuable for sure. But Warren at 71, what the hell's going on? I know, right? I almost took him, but opted against it. No, says Jatara. Are you afraid that we that this lobby gets bounced? I don't think it will. I don't think so. But Kincaid, a pretty good pick. Well above ADP. I was actually hopeful to get him here. Not terrible, not to get it, but McConkey versus Flowers, no contest. Young Moolah likes Flowers. If that's what you believe, go for it. Not many touchdowns for Flowers historically. A lot of yards, not many touchdowns. I'm willing to trust Mike McDaniel a little bit, but it's not like I'm going to exclusively take Ladd above Flowers. I think I'm just going to mix in the both of them there at that price because I think it's expensive on both. And otherwise, I'm just always taking T. Higgins. I don't want to do exclusively what the market decides to do there every time. So I'll do it how I want and be okay with it. But sure, I'll take Concepcion here. Running back would have been great, but it's really just not the value. We got the double anchor, Taylor and Derrick Henry. I'm a little worried about week 13, but what's beautiful about that is getting the handcuff running backs, the guys that only have value if the starter goes down. They're the ones that would fill in week 13. They're not the ones that would fill in week 6 or week 7. Having a double bye week at running back in week 13 is actually much easier to compensate for with the handcuffs because of the late season production is something you can kind of find a little easier than early season points. But did get Zay at a good price though for Ever Flux's team. Yeah. Copy paste. It did work out very well for John Tara. It's not always going to work out that way, but Lawrence at 92 feels excellent. K-Space loves his team. He only has Baker Mayfield with Igbuka at least, but took him at 98 a little early. You can't get Zay at 39 anymore. Yeah, Zay is no longer a 39 overall. I'm glad you like it, K-Space. I'm glad you feel that good about it. It was very bold, so you got to trust it if that's how you feel. Okay, I would imagine McNix is taking Isaiah Likely here if available. If Brew Crew snipes him, that'd be kind of shocking. He has 3 tight ends already. But McNix got the Jackson Dart. Goes Likely instantly. as expected. I think I'll go Chigokonko. The quarterback position's kind of falling. Malik Willis could be valuable for sure, but the stack with Daniels always decent as well. We got the double Terry and Chigokonko, but anytime you have Kittle, you want some good tight ends as well in case he misses some time. So running back is a position I'll have to get back in on soon. Can't ignore it forever. But our receiver room, I think, is pieced together fairly nicely. Ladd, Terry McLaurin, J-Mo, DK Metcalf, and Concepcion. Only Chigokonko and Jaden Daniels are the other Week 7 buys. I haven't drafted a single Week 13 buy, so the roster is looking okay in terms of filling in those double buys that we're a little worried about, just because we have a pair of them in the first 4 rounds. Yeah, Ladd got 7 touchdowns last year in a down season. Zay, his career high is 6. But maybe you're making the opposite point. I can see the Emeka Egbuka breakout case more than Ladd, not going to lie. I could see that too. I think they could all break out. But year 3 breakout for Ladd, definitely possible, given the circumstances. Yeah, I don't think it's getting thrown out at all. Don't think so. It wasn't like... It's not like he took Jared Goff at pick 29. You know, it's not like he took Aaron Rodgers in the 3rd round. It wasn't that insane. It was bold. It was kind of unnecessary. But in theory, in round 3, neither of them were making it back to him. So if you wanted both of them, in theory, you can find a way to justify it. Holy shit. My cat's getting a little berserk. She's ready for me to be done. But I appreciate everyone for still watching. We got 76 viewers. We're almost 3 hours into this thing, like 2 hours and 45 minutes. And halfway done with this BBM. Okay. Question is, do I take the fall on either of these quarterbacks here? Or do I grab a running back? Damn it. I think I'd rather have Daniel Jones on this team than Stroud. He pairs up with Taylor. And honestly, I prefer having 3 quarterbacks in BBM. I really do. The large field playoff structure, the pods that are double digits, not as easy to make it out of, and having that extra bullet in the chamber at the most important position definitely comes in handy. So we'll go Daniel Jones here, 151. At the very least, you expect the loss of Pittman to lead to a few more targets for Jonathan Taylor. It's not the best stack in the world, but it's also possible that he does step up in the passing game this year. The plane is definitely crashing. Did you mess up, John Tara? I'm not sure you messed up. Maybe you're talking about somebody else's team, but for John Tara, he got JSN, Bowers, Nico, Jacobs, Quinshon Judkins, P. Wash with Trevor Lawrence. He also has Travis Hunter. He took Rico Dowdle, RB3. That's a valuable pull-up. Definitely important. Ricky Pearsall, Kyler Murray, Kelsey, Travis Hunter, Trey Tucker. Honestly, John Tara, I think you're doing an excellent job. In all honesty, I think you have a very, very solid build. And then it's extremely unique with the first 3 rounds. That Nico discount was goated. So I will say I don't love my team as much as some of the other ones in this lobby, but you never know what's going to happen until it happens. I'll go Debo here because I think I have multiple outs for him to be a stackable piece. He could just go back to the Commanders. That's definitely possible. But if the rumor mill on Keenan Allen doesn't pay off, he could also be the top target for the Colts. And I think the Colts are going to add someone in free agency. I think it's probably Keenan Allen, but if it's Debo, I wouldn't be shocked at all. I think it's definitely possible. We get a Daniel Jones-Debo combo. But glad to see the Space Cowboy also pass on Daniel Jones a little bit. He took Tank Bigsby. Wow. Okay. Honestly, I was like, where's Tank Bigsby on the last one? It's because he was already off the board at 146. Very fair. Fair click there. But Keenan did steal a lot from Ladster. Keenan definitely was a problem. He appears to be gone at the moment. But Zay over Devontae, that's a fact. I understand the fade on Devontae as well. I kind of feel like all the round 3 picks at receiver get a little gross. Just a little bit. It's true. They were not making it back. So on that standpoint, there's at least that factoid, but still very expensive. And it just threw off the whole lobby as well. It's a weird lobby because of it. Chuba, a workhorse. Good luck with Brooks taking over. But pick. Do I take Stribling here? I don't think so. I'm gonna go Kamara. I think I'm gonna go Kamara. I need some running back points before it's too late. I'll go Kamara. Schultz would have been interesting, but I didn't take Stroud, so I'll leave him alone. Brew Crew already has 3 tight ends, so he might be pretty upset if Schultz is still there. And that would be funny. So let's let McNix takes him. We'll see, but aren't you worried about Jonathan Brooks, brother? I mean, I guess not. I guess K-Space is fine with it. But I don't give a fuck about Brooks. K-Space not worried. Chuba working at McDonald's, according to some streamers. I'm just sharing what I heard. I wouldn't go that far, but Chuba I don't think is paying off. Round 7. Algier a smash if he makes it back. I did pass on Algier. Maybe I've ignored running back a little bit too much, but I think we're okay. I think we can still figure it out. Maybe Del Taco pays more. People told me RJ Harvey is the one drafting first, but Dobbins is the starter. Explain that to me. The reason we draft Harvey first is because Dobbins is probably getting hurt. That's why. But Dobbins has a very locked in role, but doesn't catch many passes. He's kind of capped for ceiling, but high floor with Dobbins until he goes down. Jordan Mason's the guy, but Aaron Jones is drafted before. Explain that. Last year, Aaron Jones was more productive, but Mason probably has more touches this season. The market's weird sometimes. Last year, Jordan Mason was drafted well above and was terrible. That's got to explain it. I need some tight end points. I think mixing in Ferguson would be pretty lit. Antonio Williams falls, but I already have Terry. I already have Debo. I'm kind of worried about him, and I already have Chigo Okonkwo. I'm going to leave Antonio Williams alone. I'm not dying to do it in BBM. Not desperate for that at all. But I will say I'm a little bit worried about my structure on this team just because of the double week 13 bye with Taylor and Henry. That is a minor factor that could come back to haunt me because although I have Kyle Monungai, he is a backup ultimately. And although I have Kamara, who's also a backup, Kamara keeps getting hurt late in the season. If Kamara is healthy week 13, I'd be kind of surprised. So that might not help me very much. He needs to stay healthy, and he also might not do anything. Very unlikely he scores many touchdowns this season. So Kamara is talented, but like, I don't know. I kind of don't love the pick. I think I just needed someone there, and I don't like Sampson at all. So it is what it is. But Yeah, the Dobbins take is interesting. As someone who had both Dobbins and RJ Harvey last year in a full PPR league, so even less valuable for Dobbins because he doesn't catch many passes, I was never starting Harvey over Dobbins. It was very clear who was the guy you wanted. Jones ahead of Mason, probably not the move anymore. I think this is a solid take, K-Space. I don't think that's terrible. Not off base at all. I need some weekly production. I'm going to go with Katron Allen here. Because I think Katron can give me touchdowns randomly. It also pairs up with Jaden. It's also correlated. But I think Katron actually wins the goal line job, so he's been falling. It's super late. It's pretty irrelevant to me. Either you like him or you don't. I like Katron quite a bit, so pick 199, all the same, all round 17. But Mason could be last year's Javonte. That's not a terrible call. Don't fully agree, but not a terrible call. My first BBM is still my favorite draft out of all the ones I've done. I was thinking all coaches on that one. Chuba is basically Javonte, just on a worse offense. Maybe. Brett says I'm too high to be drafting. Brew Crew with the Kyle Pitts, Harold Fannin, Mark Andrews selections. That one was interesting. But the team's coming together. It's not done yet. Yeah, the Miami Packers is pretty fair. They said Caleb Douglas is budget Christian Watson, you heard. Caleb Douglas, an interesting player to add on random teams with Malik Willis, for sure. Could be valuable. Here, though, I'm not going to go with Keenan Allen. Maybe you saw me draft Daniel Jones and said, okay, he's going Keenan Allen. I'm actually going to go Christian Kirk with Brock Purdy. We'll do that. I didn't take Stribling. I took George Kittle, but I'll tack on one more receiver. I'll go with Christian Kirk. And I already have my rookie receiver. I have Casey Concepcion locking it down. So going with a rookie, not my ideal bet right now. We drafted Ladd, and Keenan could go to the Chargers, so we're betting against that. On this team, I'm telling myself, even though we have Daniel Jones, it's not going to be Keenan in Indy. It's going to be Debo instead. So, all right, this team is interesting. Not my favorite team in the pod from the 7 slot, a little bit unique, but it's not a bad team. I think it's fine. It's just kind of going to come down to if I'm right on receiver. But quarterback feels excellent. Jaden Daniels, always a great pick in the 6th round. Hopefully he stays healthy, but could be a top 2 quarterback this year. Brock Purdy, any given week, can be top 5. Throws for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns very often in the Shanahan system. But then Daniel Jones at 151, a value that does stack up with Jonathan Taylor. And then hopefully also with Deebo Samuel. But could just run the ball a little bit, some independent value. But last year he was top 10 when healthy, at least to start the year. He was very productive. Hopefully Shane Steichen can do it again. But running back, the double elite duo, hopefully can tolerate the week 13 bye. That is the one risk factor other than injury. But Taylor and Henry should get the job done. So not the most dependent on the backup running backs. We have Kyle Monangai, so maybe Swift goes down and really delivers here. Kamara, I think, will play and catch a lot of passes, but might be kind of worthless even when healthy. There's going to be few spike weeks for him. Not many touchdowns last year. And then Katron Allen should get the goal line job. I believe in him in Washington. He's this year's JCM. I guess talent-wise, he's this year's Chris Rodriguez. I expect that type of role for him. But we got Ladd McConkey on this one, Terry McLaurin. J-Mo had an excellent fall, pick 55. DK Metcalf comes in clutch on this one, helps a lot. And then Casey Concepcion should get a lot of volume. also kind of necessary. Debo and Christian Kirk, the receiver room feels a little bit lacking, but enough high value names where, like, if we do get Ladd to crush, we are in business. Maybe he is this year's JSN after all. But Terry, the mega stack with Jaden, is kind of carrying this team. We also have Kittle, the elite tight end viability, but also risky pick. Okonkwo stacks, and then Terrence Ferguson, a sneaky value. Super late. I like him. I liked him a lot last year. I still like him. So, yeah, interesting team. Maybe not my favorite. And then we also saw some bangers in this one with Team 1. I don't know if he's watching, but I'm genuinely curious how it went. He had Shuck, Rodgers, and Brissett. That's gross. It's okay, but kind of gross. Gibbs, Dobbins, Brooks, JCM, and Braylon Allen. Interesting. Could totally work out. Don't love JCM or Allen, but I suppose. London there, though, was insane. Neighbors and Burden, really awesome values. Harrison, Tyson. Even Tyson at 73. Holy shit. That's pretty wild. Naylor, Malik Washington, and Antonio Williams at a big discount. This pick, though, kind of feels worthless. McBride and Gadsden on this team. Damn, Team 1 is kind of interesting. Despite quarterback feeling weird, it is pretty unique. I'll say that. But really, the story of this draft might be John Tara. Let's find out how it all went. He has T-Law, Kyler at 116, T-Law at 92, and then Mendoza right at ADP. He has Bowers as well. But RB1 is Jacobs. If he doesn't get suspended or nothing happens, then it's an elite pick. Quinshawn Judkins, a good value right there for the floor. Rico, a little expensive, but I think necessary, very important RB3, but maybe could have pushed it. Maybe not the most important click. Algier, a very talented backup in a bad offense, but probably worth a pick 164. Jaden Blue, an insane riser as of late. Moving up the most of any player at running back lately. But Nick Singleton, also an interesting bet. Not my favorite right now, but pick 212. I suppose it's not terrible, but JSN and Nico Collins is what really, really sends this team into the stratosphere. Super unique in Best Ball Mania. Fucking lit. The 7-pick fall on Nico is pretty wild. P-Wash stacked up with T-Law. Ricky Pearsall, a very good bet right now. I think a super valuable player. Hunter has been falling. He double stacks with T-Law, so viable bet here, but is risky. And then Trey Tucker, Ted Hurst. The receiver depth is a little shaky. Like, there's a world where the Jags aren't as valuable as you think, and then maybe Pearsall gets hurt, and then you might not get many contributions out of Tucker or Ted Hurst. So it's possible that it's not the best receiver room, but the double anchor elite is just so clutch. Honestly, having these 7 feels like you're in business. But tight end has Bowers and Travis Kelce. That checks out. The Bowers stack is pretty lit. So good luck, John Tara. It's never easy at pick 5, but the JSN Bowers, Nico, Jacobs start was fucking excellent. And then the T-Law discount, also super clutch. So you knew what you were doing. Good job. Gotta say, John Tara's team looks awesome. But he left so many messages in the chat, and he led to the story of this draft. We have to look at Space Cowboy as well. From the 102, he goes Baker and Sam Darnold. Whew. That feels thin. Bijan, Scatabo at 23. Chuba at pick 50. RJ Harvey, 74. Tank Bigsby, where he should go, at 146. And then Justice Hill in the last round. Talk about getting your guys. Honestly, in totality, this running back room looks pretty lit. Like, to be honest, it's actually not that bad. The Chuba Hubbard pick, obviously, I don't like. But, like, if you just remove the ADP and just tell me these are your 6 running backs, it feels pretty solid from that standpoint. But way too expensive. Once you actually look at how you built it, I have to push back, bro. It's just not the way to go. It's too expensive. But, boy, is it unique. But here is where you paid the price. Absolutely. The receiver room feels very odd. because Egbuka at 26 is maybe not crazy, but definitely high. DJ Moore at 47 isn't crazy at all, but a little high. Xavier Worthy, wide receiver 3, feels gross. Like, he could be valuable, he could be great, but he's going to be very inconsistent and almost no floor. He's not a good receiver 3, that's for sure. But Dobbs at 122, kind of a steal. Our receiver 4 is not that good, though, for Dobbs. I prefer him number 5. Ridley is gross as number 5. Tank Dell is probably not playing more than 4 weeks. And then Cooper Kupp is also probably washed. So receiver feels very, very misguided. However, tight end feels excellent. Tyler Warren at 71. That was a massive, massive discount. Kincaid is an excellent pick right now. However, Hawkinson is unnecessary here. Should be a receiver 100% instead of Hawkinson. Or a quarterback. One of the two. You could definitely use quarterback, but reaching on Baker, the argument is he's that good. It's probably not the case, though. Quarterback is weird. Receiver is thin. And then tight end is unnecessarily good. Running back is fine, but way too expensive and cost you elsewhere. All right. How many other team reviews? I'm not going to do many more, in all honesty. I think I'm kind of just going to only do members and move on. And that's 3 more. We got Brew Crew, Super Beast, and Montano. So if you were in this lobby and you don't get a team review, apologies for that. But yeah, definitely too high for all these comments. It's just way too much for me to handle. Brew Crew with Lamar, Herbert, and Stroud. Elite at quarterback. Stroud feels a little bit unnecessary, but at 160, I guess I understand. Taking the discount. You got Chase Brown, Kyron, and Bucky. Woody Marks and Dylan Sampson. You took Woody Marks early. That is gross. That sucks. It is stacked, though. I guess it's worth something. Amon-Ra, Zay Flowers, Chris Godwin, Denzel Boston, Dejon Shribling, and Elijah Surratt, Jalen Knoll. So receiver a little bit mid down the stretch. Godwin is fine as number 3, but then Boston through Knoll. Yikes. Good luck there. And then tight end, you went 3 back-to-back-to-back, basically right at ADP. Pitts, Fannin where he really should be going, and then Andrews at 129. Andrews is stacked, but I feel like the Fannin pick is so unnecessary, especially with Pitts and Andrews. Tight end feels odd. Tight end feels kind of odd on this one. But running back kind of checks out. Quarterback is elite. And then receivers top heavy, but gross down the stretch. I don't love the team. It's fine, but it's not my favorite you've ever built, Brew Crew. It's a little bit weird. A little odd. Not going to lie. Montano in here. He's a member. He got Allen and Love. I see these two paired up a shit ton together. Love always goes at the turn. So while it is fine, it's very common. I've noticed I've done a lot of team reviews with Allen and Love and stop there. But Cook, Saquon, Corum, Tyrone Tracy, and Pacheco. Interesting. Not bad. And then Pacheco at 156. It's better. But Tracy feels too expensive. Even Corum at 85 also feels kind of expensive. Garrett Wilson, Brian Thomas, Carnell Tate, Addison, Golden, Shakir, Branch, and Keon Coleman. So loaded at receiver. That checks out. That's totally fine with me. Sadiq, Helm, and Washington feels gross as fuck, though. I hate Sadiq as a standalone pick. I don't like Washington very much. And then Helm is fine, but could just be pretty mid because it's the Titans. Not many touchdowns available, possibly, in Tennessee. So good luck with your quarterback uniqueness. It's not that unique, but ultimately the team is pretty solid. Pretty well built overall. Don't mind it. There's not many picks I would push back too much on. It checks out. Super Beast, Keith is in here with Drake May and Dak Prescott. That's fine. Javonte, Travis, Kenny G, Mason, Emmett Johnson, Mike Washington. That checks out. Lamb, A.J. Brown, the double stack, totally viable with his quarterbacks. Rome, Sutton, Shaheed, Tesla, and A.D. Mitchell, Ferguson, Juwan, and Theo Johnson. Yeah, all fine picks. Running back is a little bit mid, but the Travis in round 4 is pretty clutch. And then even Kenny G and Jordan Mason feel much better as of today. The team's fine. If Javonte doesn't get hurt, I think you're in excellent shape. Pretty viable team. Very balanced, very nuanced, very safe at all positions. I like this one. This is a good team, Super Beast. Not bad. Lastly, though, we had Brew Crew. Oh, no, we already took a look at Brew Crew. I think that's it. I believe that's it. If there's any member that I missed, let me know. The FF Nerd DM'd me some details on my Twitter. I'll look for that. Not sure I've seen you in here before, so appreciate you popping in. Anthony's in the house. What's up? Man of culture, we meet again. Nice to see you, Wilson. I didn't love my team here. It's not terrible, but I didn't love it. The quarterback room might save me. My week 13 bagel at running back would be a bummer, but I think I might sneak past it unscathed. And then receivers, a little optimistic, but tight end has elite upside as well. The team's fine, but it's not amazing. I feel like I've drafted better teams in Best Ball Mania, but the JMO could really save me. If I'm right on Lad, then we're in business. I have to hit on Lad for this team to work out. I think that's very critical. And then I also think Concepcion is helping, a very, very important contributor as well. But hopefully these two running backs just crush and dominate. And then quarterback gives me enough extra points where I'm salvaged a little bit. But all right, that's going to be it for me. We've drafted for 3 hours plus. We did 4 different drafts, and one of them was a BBM. So I definitely went a little bit over budget tonight. But 89 likes. We're actually possibly going to hit 100 on the stream. And I'm very curious to see how many subscribers we got on today's video. But if there's a chance that you did not like the stream, go ahead and drop a like down below before we leave. If you're enjoying the content, subscribe to gain access to the chat and let me know what you think of my roster there. But I did kind of ignore the chat for a minute and appreciate everyone for keeping it going and helping out with the algorithm and everything. Yeah, we got 90 likes. Honestly, K-Space, I kind of owe it to you a little bit. Honestly, like, since we hit 75, it's just been still rolling, and like, holy shit, 90 likes. I did not expect that tonight. So really awesome. And we were like rocking with 70 plus like the whole fucking time. So y'all are awesome. I'm going to take one more rip from the pipe. I'm not going to leave here before I do that. And just want to say thank you to everyone for popping in and subscribing to the channel. We are rapidly approaching the NFL season, and boy, I can't wait for kickoff. And I can't wait to make lineup rankings videos. I can't wait to be a stat head once again, tracking everything with really no social life beyond it. So I can't wait. We're really close, and I'm getting excited. It's been a fun year so far. A lot of grinding on the live streams, but a stream like tonight really reminds me that it was all worth it. And like, damn, y'all made me proud tonight. This one was a fun one. Very excited for the upcoming weeks with a lot more videos being dropped. We're going to do rankings soon. And we also got some collabs planned, especially with Who Hames. We got some fun videos planned for y'all coming up soon. Look out for that. But one more hit from the pipe before we go. 102 votes on the poll. Damn. That's also pretty lit. Chargers held strong. They won the poll 39%. We got 32 for the Broncos, 21 for the Chiefs. And then the Raiders did stand pat at 8%. There were 8 votes for the Raiders. 2 of them were Young Moolah, but mostly for the Chargers. And of course, we do agree. We'll see. But okay, let's rip it. Let's go. If you got it, smoke it for me. Peace out, everyone. Have a good night. Later.